today.
What's up, party people?
Yes, yes. I am your favorite friendly neighborhood old man river, Mr. Kennedy,
Ah,
and I am joined once again by the beautiful, laid back, smart Kelsey Fearless. How are you today?
thanks, Ken. I'm doing well. I'm doing well. There's a power outage in my entire province, but apparently I'm like the only one who still has power. So it's going well. It's going well. It's going well.
Oh
How are
man.
you?
I'm just glad that this week is over. I hate the 4th of July. Like, not for the
Oh,
significance
yeah.
in the holiday, but I hate the 4th of July because that's when people are just very, very irritating to be around.
Oh, yeah.
It's
Oh, yeah.
it's like
Oh,
people
yeah.
it's like people forget all of their their house training and all of that stuff if they have any, and they're like, if you're working nights, you're shit out of luck. You're not gonna get no
Oh,
sleep.
God. No, no. Was there lots of fireworks?
Yes, they had a lot of fireworks. They were shooting guns up in the air, revving motorcycles and all of that crap. And I'm just like, bro,
Oh, God.
I'm like, why? But the good news is I only got one left, and that's New Year's.
Oh, yeah, that's not bad.
But that ain't
New
that ain't
Year's
until
seems even
January.
worse.
So thank God for that. I hope everybody is doing well today. Welcome to episode 8 of the Hot Takes podcast. We got a lot going
Eight
on
is
for y'all.
crazy.
I'm sorry.
We're at 8. That's crazy. I
Yeah,
said we're at 8. That's crazy.
just think about it when we get to episode 80.
Yeah, right. Yes.
You be like, damn, yo. And then we get to like 888 and we both got gray hair.
Yep. Exactly. Exactly. Reminiscing over, the PS5 era back in my day.
Yeah, my beard will be all gray and silver and junk. I'm your favorite neighborhood beard bro, Mr. Kennedy.
Old Man River. That's so funny. That's such a funny introduction, dude.
Yeah,
Oh,
I like to keep it I like to keep it fresh. Nobody ever knows what I'm gonna say.
exactly. Keep them on their toes. Keep
Yes,
them on their
yes.
toes. What we got going on today, Ken?
Well, first off, I mean, the news today for video games is since Shin Megami Tensei 5 was removed from the Nintendo eShop back on June 13th, 2024, ahead of the release of the expanded edition, The Vengeance, which is coming out. Atlas confirmed it on Twitter, saying that all digital versions and the DLC will no longer be available. Now, if you already own the game, then you're all good. If you don't know what Shin Megami Tensei is, it's
I
basically
remember
a.
those games.
Do you know what it is?
Yeah, and I've also played the Persona games.
Got you. So they go hand in hand with each other. But for people
Yeah.
who don't know what it is a dungeon crawling, turn-based game that follows Akemi Nakajima, a smart, troubled youth who develops a computer program that summons demons to get even with his bullies. But along the way, his program gets out of control, as a lot of programs do, and the demons start attacking him. So it's an interesting story. But yes,
Yeah, it is. But
they
they took it out.
yeah, they took that because they're releasing a new edition which has all of that stuff together. So basically they're making you buy the damn game over again with all of the stuff in it. Good
Good
old
lord. Of course they are.
good old cheap bullshit tactics. They're basically
That's crazy.
telling you, hey, you know, we know that you want this game and we know that a lot of y'all already have it. Now, what does that say for people that already have the game? Like, come on.
Exactly.
Like,
Exactly. Exactly. And that's so scummy.
but
Like
here,
the price is going to go up, isn't it?
yeah, they're gonna be selling it at full price because it's Nintendo. You
Oh,
know,
of course.
and you know the thing that's even worse, if you accidentally delete the game or you get locked out of your account, you don't have access to that game anymore. So you're gonna have to buy it
No.
again.
Yep. It's gone. That's awful.
Or
That's awful.
if you accidentally delete it, you can't re-download it again because they removed it from the store.
Really? Wow, not even Steam does that. That's
Yeah,
actually really Scott me. Not even Steam does that.
that's all kinds of bullshit. But that's the theme of this show today. We're going to be talking about all of the BS scams, most of the big BS scams that these companies are pulling on us. But we'll get to that in just a
Yes.
second. Embracer, the developer of the last Alone in the Dark video game, that company has been shut down officially.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's not said if the game sales had anything to do with that. That company has been around since 2007 and it's made games like Magica, Robo Collect, and Kill to Collect. But we can pretty much guess that last Alone in the Dark game didn't do so well at all. Like,
Yeah. It was probably the last nail in the coffin. Especially if they were like struggling, then it's definitely the last nail in the coffin for them.
yeah, but what a way to go out, though. What a way to go out.
Right?
You bring back a beloved franchise like Alone in the Dark, and that was like your last ditch effort, and then that's what officially put the nail in the coffin.
And then that's what
after
they
that.
do for you. Yeah.
I mean,
Right?
can you imagine if the game was a masterpiece and then they closed it down anyways?
Oh God. Yeah, but you never know. You never know. But for something like that, yeah, they absolutely did not make their money then. And that's happening with all, like, I wish we could just, like, stop at this point with the remakes, especially, like, the horror game remakes. Because aside from Resident Evil, like, most of them have a very, very tiny community, right? Like, Alone in the Dark, like, how many, like, I didn't even know it came out. There was like no marketing around their Alone in the Dark remake. I don't know how much you heard about it, but like someone just randomly said to me at some point, like, "Oh, Alone in the Dark is like Alone in the Dark got released," and I'm like, "When?" Like I heard that they were making it, and then like a year later or however long, they're like, "Okay, well, it's out now," and they did a demo.
It was very poor marketing. That's why the game didn't take off the way that it did, besides the fact that it looks like a PS1 game. To me at least.
Yeah, that too. PS3 game at the most.
Yeah, and it's just, very poor marketing. I didn't even know it existed until it just popped up like poof. Like the government at your door. Just poof, puff.
Right?
I'm like, oh.
Exactly. Yeah, I didn't either.
Like, there's a new Alone in the Dark game. Let me check this out. And to be fair, it doesn't look that... I mean, I've seen some bad-looking games. It doesn't look that bad, but a lot of glitches. It just looks like crap. They could have done better with it.
Yeah, I heard they had, like, achievement glitches and stuff. Like, I have it. I was gifted it for my birthday, and I never played it yet. That's, like, that's literally how unknown it is to, like, me. Honestly, Ken, like, that's how unknown this game was to me. Because it came out, I got gifted it, and then every so often I'm like, oh yeah, Alone in the Dark remake exists.
Yeah, it's going to be like that for a while when you're going through that backlog of video games that you have. You gotta keep remembering, oh yeah, I have this.
Yep, exactly.
And it's just...
Exactly.
Pop that up here.
Yeah. What I'm saying, like, it's been awful. Like, it has been terrible. And then what do we have in chat? We have Spookylicious Kitty Cat saying, I bought Alone in the Dark as CD key. The price was ridiculous. And see, getting it on a CD key has even been crazier. Like, if you can't justify that, like, if like, usually if you get something, as a CD key cheap, right? Like, you could justify that. You know? If it's a crap game, you can justify it, but...
that is true.
Yeah.
I mean, CD keys is pretty damn cheap, so, if you spend like, $5 for it, you're not really losing out on nothing. That's a killer cosplay.
Yeah, but it could be rough.
That's a killer cosplay that she got on right there.
Yeah.
But welcome in, Spookylicious. Let's move on here.
What do we have next?
Valorant players are getting banned for using keyboard and mouse, according to GameSpot. Players are being banned from the Valorant closed console beta, which currently only supports controls. So what's happening is people are using the adapter in order to be able to use a keyboard and mouse, and then the anti-cheat device picks up and bans them from the game.
Yeah, yeah, and that's legit. I remember when PUBG was like super huge on the mobile version. Like I knew people who would like have that connected to like one of those small you know like those laptop or those like tablet keyboards you can get. They would literally have that up there so they could play better. So like I get it.
You mean like that?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, and it would just attach to the micro USB from a tablet, and people would be doing that. And you'd have like a huge advantage over anyone who was using literally mobile controls.
That's true. I mean, I'm kind of on the fence about this one because I believe if you get a video game, as long as you're not hacking the game and you're not doing stuff to cheat, you should be able to play with either control or mouse and keyboard if you want. I don't think you should be banned for that. But however, if it only supports controllers, if that's what it only supports, and then you're cheating, like using adapters and stuff, then yeah, I could see why they ban you, because that's unfair to the other players. Keyboard and mouse gives you more versatility over a controller, in my personal opinion. So,
100%. But I mean, I get it when it's multiplayer, but like if it was single player, it shouldn't matter.
Well, that's like playing Dead by Daylight from PC against someone that's on the Nintendo Switch. It's just not fair.
Mm-hmm.
And speaking,
that's a big issue.
On a side
speaking
note,
of the Nintendo Switch.
Yeah, on a side note, there I got a chance to look at Dead by Daylight on the Switch, and I'm not a graphics hound by any means, but it looks like absolute dog shit. Oh my god!
Yeah, it's trash, eh?
I was like, how does the mobile version look better than the Switch version?
Right?
Oh.
That's saying a lot. But they put like laptop CPUs and GPUs in phones now these days. But like that's actually no excuse for the Switch. It's actually no excuse for the Switch.
Yeah, that is true. But yes, so if going short, if you're caught using keyboard and mouse, you are gonna get the ban hammer. You are gonna get a swift kick in the ass out of the game of Valorant, and that's it. That's just how it is. So play controller and be fair, man.
Yeah.
Moving on here, a new Gears of War is on the way. It was revealed at the Xbox Showcase. E-Day, or Emergence Day, takes place before the first Gears of War game and the first Locust attack on the Emerge of Sarah. If you don't know what Gears of War is, it is a action shooter. I'm pretty sure you've seen that style of gameplay in these games that we play.
Yeah.
All over the place.
Yeah.
But yes, this one is a prequel before the first Gears of War game, and it's caught my interest because I love them shooters, and I will give it a try. So
let us know, Ken.
I will definitely, because if you guys see me play the Aliens Fireteam Elite, Gears of War built the whole genre. Like, there's a lot of games that emulate that game.
Yeah.
Resident Evil 4, Resident Evil 5, Resident Evil 6, they all get their style of gameplay from Gears of War. That's why, people can call Resident Evil 5 pretty much Gears of War with Resident Evil characters. That's pretty much what it is.
They'd be right. They'd be right, but you can also call Dead Space Resident Evil 4 in space.
That is true. Is anybody quite surprised how calmly I mentioned Resident Evil 5 without crapping on it?
Yeah, is it turning a new leaf, are we?
No, I'm just too tired to crap on it, so I'm
just too tired to crap on it.
I'll let past KC do it for you. Look, for those people who talk about they like Resident Evil 5, you're wrong. That game is terrible. It's ass. It's garbage. It's doo-doo. It's that stuff that comes out of your butthole. It's shit. Number two. It is a garbage game. Yes, as past KC said. We're moving on here. Now, speaking of Resident Evil, since we're on that subject, if you have the iPhone 15, Resident Evil 7 and the Resident Evil 2 remake are now on the iPhone 15. So now you can play those games. I don't know how you're gonna play those games. Like, can you imagine playing those games
You're
on a
gonna play them with your phone up against an air conditioner, is how you're gonna play the game.
that too? Because that phone is gonna be hot, man. You know, burn.
Oh yeah, that phone's gonna be cranking.
But here's the thing: like, is it gonna have control support, or are they gonna expect for you to play on mobile controls? Because oh my god, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the phones get burned. Yeah. They burn up. Yeah, exactly. They do. Like I think people do the same thing with Genshin. Like I've seen memes of that. People will put them up to like they'll put them up to like an air conditioner trying to run it. Just crazy. Just
Yeah.
crazy. Have you seen what it looks like?
I haven't got the chance to see it, but I know that it's running, and I'm like, well, they're kind of I mean, come on now. They're kind of running these powerhouse games on these phones. Of course, you're gonna need a phone that keeps it cool. You're gonna have to keep it by a fan or keep it in front of an air conditioning. I mean,
Exactly. You're
what do
gonna
they
have to do
expect?
something. Yeah,
How are you doing?
exactly.
Meow Mix says you can do both. You can pair a controller or use mobile screen controls, which I kind of
Oh,
figured.
that's good.
I kind of
Yeah,
figured you would
that's
do that.
good. I used to have like a controller that you could I might even still have it. That like it was for like Android phones. You could this is iPhone, but you would just like attach it and it had a holder for your phone. So you would literally have your phone turned into a handheld. It was neat. I thought it was neat.
Hey, shout out to my daughter Lori. Thank you for the sub. Thank you very much. I appreciate the resub. I hope everything is going good with you. But yes, I mean, I kind of figured you're playing games that are pretty much for console and for PC on a mobile device, and we're talking about Apple here.
Yeah.
We're talking about Apple here. That's not exactly the phone I would go to. Like I would literally use the latest Samsung phones. I bet you they could run it better, in my personal
Oh,
opinion.
I'm sure. I'm sure. Probably their contract.
Yeah, and I'm just like, well, I mean, they'll probably fix it, they'll probably patch it. And I think that later on, I love you too, Lori. Thank you very much. Um the I think that phones from now on, they're probably gonna start getting like two cooling chips and two fans and stuff.
Oh, I'm sure.
You're gonna have to, because if they're gonna be, because Genshin, I had Genshin on my iPad. I never had no overheating problems when I first started playing that game.
No.
So yeah, we're just gonna have to see. But at least now,
Yeah, we'll have to see.
but it's a good option, because if you can't afford a PS5 or PS4, let alone a PC, you can still play it. You know. So
Yeah, mobile gaming has really grown up. Like there's a lot of good options now for mobile games.
that is true. And before I forget, not just the iPhone 15, but the iPad and Mac. So now Resident Evil 7 and RE2 are on iPad and on your Mac if you have a Mac computer. So
Oh,
enjoy.
it's not bad.
But now that we got the news out of the way, now we get to jump into the juicy stuff with the foolishness with people in this world. It's just, oh my God, we're going to take some time on this one. Parents outraged because their 8-year-old child decided to charge $4,000 on their credit card in video game purchases.
Oops.
Let me let that sink in for y'all. $4,000.
Yep. It happens a lot. It happens a lot. It's, like you have a little kid and see the biggest thing is like don't have your credit card information saved if like a child well like I don't want my credit card information saved on my phone anyways, but like having that saved like if you're using the Google Play Store, right? Like you'll just have your credit card attached to that, and then a kid sees like, oh, buy this, and they hit it, and it magically gives them things, they're just going to keep racking it up.
Yeah, and the thing is, it's, parents they gotta be smarter than this. And I was talking to my father about this. My father said, why not just get a prepaid card, put a certain amount of money on it, and then link that to your child's account. That way they won't be able to go over anything. They just have that certain amount of money. They can buy whatever they want in the game, and you can control that so that you don't have to come back with no $4,000, $5,000 credit card bill.
I think at this point, parents just toss the phone at their kids, though, right? The phone's their babysitter, so I don't even think they actually check.
Yeah, I think the kids pretty much run the household these days. It ain't like it used to be. Your parents are running the show.
Nope.
But this story is just, I try not to laugh, but it's so funny. The excuses that these people make up.
It's rough.
Parents sharing the warning after their son spends $4,000 playing video games. Parents Michael and Jennifer Ferry are speaking out and sharing warnings to other parents after they learned their 8-year-old son unintentionally racked up a $4,000 bill in charges on their credit card while playing video games. Oh, poor family. Oh, he just didn't know.
No. Right? Like, frig, man. No, it's your own ignorance that got you in there.
Exactly.
You know?
And, the father's making excuses talking about, oh, I think sometimes it's confusing what's real money and what's fake money, that the father said. I'm like, are you serious? Kids are not that stupid these days, man. They're smarter than adults.
Say. Yeah, I was about to say, oh, sorry, go ahead.
Meow Mix says the risk of convenience, leaving a credit card saved to your accounts.
Yep.
Yeah. I don't really like, all my stuff got prepaid stuff on it. Like, I got prepaid cards attached to everything that I got. That way I could just, if I have a moment of insanity and I want to buy something in Fortnite, I could just throw $10 on there.
I don't actually, I have like, my bank gives me like a virtual Visa that I just use for purchasing things online because it's only connected to a bank account. And I put the exact amount in there and that's it. It's not getting like, that's what I do for all like random purchases that I don't trust a credit card for.
Yeah. It's just,
which is good.
The whole thing of, the whole thing that bothers me about this thing is I hate when parents make excuses for their kids. Whatever happened to just screwing up and making a mistake? Stop coddling everybody. No. Stop coddling these kids. Well, he just didn't know. 8-year-old children are smart. They're very smart. They're not stupid these days. You know what I mean? They're not. They weren't eating dirt like I was when I was 8. So it's like,
no.
But they don't want to ever admit when their kid screws up, and that's bad character development. Let me tell y'all a story real quick. Let me tie in a story here. When I got my first cell phone, my father went out and he got my brother and I cell phones because, we were teenagers. I was a little bit older than this kid. Dumb, naive me. I had a girlfriend that was in New York and I ran up a phone bill that was over $2,000.
No. Oh, God.
Needless to say that my father was not very happy to see that. And he didn't coddle me back.
Oh my gosh.
My father wasn't out there being like, oh, well, sometimes it's just difficult to tell the difference between long distance and close distance. No. I knew.
Hell no.
I knew what I was doing. I was in love. And I was calling my girlfriend and everything. And all that. And my father got that bill and he flipped. He was not happy. And what ended up happening was when I got my first job, he made me pay it back.
I had to pay it back.
I was so mad. I was so mad the first couple of paychecks that I got. But a 17-year-old kid, man, a 17-year-old kid doesn't think the same way, a almost 40-year-old man thinks. But he made me pay it back. He's like, oh, you gonna pay all this money back. Because the thing is, it wasn't even about the money at that point. It was about learning that you're gonna have to pay the consequences for the dumb decisions that you make in your life. So
Yeah.
when I got my first job, I had my first couple of paychecks. I had to pay him back all of his money, and then we broke up. So I was like, well, damn.
Well, that wasn't worth it, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
So yeah,
Whoops.
experiences with that. Every kid makes that mistake, but I hate when parents
Oh yeah,
coddle their children like that. Man, they make excuses and soften the blow. No, punish them.
because we're in the participation era, unfortunately.
Yeah, you'd be like, oh,
I think.
you made that mistake. I'm taking away your console, and you're punished. You're not going
Yep.
out anywhere.
Yep.
Don't be out here. Well,
Yep.
he doesn't know. You know, sometimes it's different to tell the difference between. Man, get the hell out of here with that.
Right.
You know what
Right.
you know
That's what I'm saying.
and that kid is probably thinking to himself, so if I was able to get away with that, maybe I can push
I
it a
was
little
just thinking
further.
that. I was just thinking that. What else can I get away with? Yes, exactly.
Yeah, he could turn into Richie Rich or Dennis the Menace and be charging up, freaking $22,000, in
Exactly.
in Dead by Daylight. It's crazy, man.
Yep.
You
Could
got
be worse.
you got any stories like that where you ran up something?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I definitely did. I like one with the phone. Actually, the phone was an excellent example. I did the same because like I'd be playing online games with I'd be playing online games with people, right? And I the first month after I started texting people on my Razor flip phone, like the amount of money that I had the same thing got ran up. I can remember when I was like a lot more young. I did the whole use my parents' credit card, and I was like, hey, no one will tell I ever spent $3. Like it was something like that. I was dumbass kid. Like now as an adult, like reading through my bills and balancing my books, I'm like, I would have noticed that $3 fucking, but like I was like, no. But I got in shit for it, right? I got in shit for it. So now I don't do that.
So how much is that? How much you ended up charging was $3?
Yeah, I probably like more than once or twice. It was to buy like cosmetics in an online game like ages ago though. When like you could get a hell of a lot of stuff for $3. But yeah, but like I don't know, I was a dumb kid who apparently like my thought was the exact same, like, well, I don't actually see this money, so
Yeah.
but I definitely feel the cell phone one.
Yeah, that Razor flip stuff, man. Like, holy crap. That Razor flip phone, that brought me back. Holy crap.
That was my first cell phone. I was 14 and my like a guy that I was seeing, he got it secondhand for me. And so like for the longest time until we actually figured it out, because it was before it was easy to just pop in SIM cards. I would be calling people and my name would be like whoever like owned the phone before, so it'd be like Fred Wilson is calling, and then it's me. And then it's me, like, hey, how's it going?
Yeah, my first cell phone was was that little chocolate bar Nokia phone. Like, and you know what I'm talking about? That little blue
Oh
phone.
yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
the only game that I had on there was Snake.
Snake, yes. Snake or the other one, Brick Breaker. I think
Uh,
Brick Breaker wasn't. I think that was BlackBerry had Brick Breaker.
I believe so. Yeah, I
I can't
believe
remember.
BlackBerry had that. Folks, I am old. Like, I just extremely dated myself there.
You're not that old.
The little chocolate bar phones. Yeah,
Yeah,
but just it's ridiculous how what kids are able to get away with these days. And the good
yeah,
thing
it's
is
insane.
there is a good news to this story. They actually got refunded the $4,000, which I don't know how the hell that even happened because credit card companies don't do
Credit.
that.
Yeah, I don't know. They may have, though.
Yeah, well,
They may have just said it was stolen. But then again, I guess I don't know. I wonder how they did that.
I mean, either they lied because once you make a purchase on a credit card, you are stuck with it. It's there. Like they're not going to give you your
Yeah.
money back.
Unless you were sold something and you get it and it's like crap product and stuff. Like you pay for protections on your that's what you pay for, the fees you pay, right, on credit cards is for protection, fraud protection, but I don't see that, like I don't see that being a thing. Even if you said it was compromised and they did a chargeback on it, your whole out going out, like even if that was the route they took, you're out here live and in color. Well, not really live and in color, but you're out here with your own words being printed on news articles and stuff saying what happened. So I don't know how they would have done that.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. So you can get a refund back if you get a product that's, you get the product and it's crap.
Yeah, like if you get yeah, there's so many reasons you can charge back an account. Like that's what you pay your credit card company for in fees, is those protections. I mean, you usually have to prove it, but like yeah, they'll reverse transactions like crazy. So like if you get something and it's not what's advertised and the person's not, like you have to go through the avenue as well. Like you have to show that you have to prove that you've actually you're actually being scammed, right?
So I could have gotten my money back for Resident Evil 5 and 6.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh crap.
Yep.
Instead of throwing it in a pond behind the house and then throwing it in a garbage compactor.
Yep. Nope.
Yeah. Oh boy. This is the joys of. Yes, since we're on the subject of ridiculousness, let's talk about some nut bars out here. Before we get into the story, we have people that just have absolutely no business being on social media or playing video games at all. If you have issues, and I mean serious issues, to where your anger gets so out of control that you want to harm somebody, you should not be playing video games. That's what this story is about. Then I got another story to tack on after that. We got a nut bar that actually was so mad, that was so butthurt, that had no preparation H. He decided that he was going to go fly from New Jersey to Florida, go buy a hammer at a hardware store just to go try to attempt to harm another guy just because he got beat in a video game. So this
it's actually crazy they did it live.
So this is it, folks. This is what we got. This is what humanity has come to. People are crazy, man.
Yep.
Like, I don't know what.
Oh yeah, it happens all the time. It's just interesting he went the extra mile. Usually people just call SWAT teams on each other.
Yeah, it's crazy. A New York man got so ticked off at an online game, he flew down to Florida in the middle of the night to bash his rival with a hammer, authorities said. Edward Kang,
crazy,
20 years old, allegedly hopped on an overnight flight at Newark Liberty International Airport. And even the cop was like,
oh my God.
The cop was like, this is a weird one. Early Sunday morning,
right?
He stopped by he got to the hotel at 2:00 a.m. Friday. The next day, he stopped at an Ace Hardware store, huzzah, and he bought a hammer. And then early Sunday morning, he snuck into his victim's house at Vernadina Beach, which I know where that is. That's down here in Florida. He was dressed in black, wearing a mask, and attacked his rival with a hammer.
Oh my God.
No, like, I'm not, I hope the guy's all right. I'm not laughing at his misfortunes.
I'm not either. I was just thinking that.
But
it's just crazy.
I can't fathom the fact, how can somebody stay that upset? Can somebody hold a grudge that much that they're going to actually pay for a airline ticket First off, let's back this up. You're gonna be that mad that you're gonna track down and find out the person where they live, what their information is, then buy a plane ticket, and then go to bed that night. Like go to bed that night.
Imagine sleeping with the hammer. Oh wait, didn't have the hammer yet.
And
Just
then,
dreaming of the hammer.
and then the dude goes to Ace Hardware, yo. Like, how would you like to have your hardware store mentioned in a story like that? It's like, oh crap, we screwed up.
Right? Right? Oh my god.
I'm just trying to picture the dude like on the flight with his arms crossed and his face all crushed up. That's right, I'm gonna get him. I'm gonna get him for that.
Right? Right? Must have
Yo,
must have something going on up there. You know, the cogs aren't all turning to get to that level. You know?
I don't know how you stay mad. I can't even stay mad past 5 minutes long enough to waste my time and money.
I have
And it's
I have no clue.
oh my god, that's just I read that and I laughed. Not that the guy got attacked, just at the picturing the this guy doing that. It's just like
Right?
the other story. Shout out to Alpha Omega Sin. I used to watch his stuff back in the day. When he told that story of a 40-plus-year-old man that was getting his ass whooped so badly in a game of Call of Duty that he actually went and choked a teenager. He actually went to the kid's house
God.
to choke the kid. Now the kid lived. He's all right. But
And what'd the dude get for that?
his ass went to jail. Like he should have been.
Oh good, alright.
The dude was like, oh,
Right.
he's like, he kept goading me. Oh, he wouldn't shut up. He just kept, I'm like, dude, it's a game about shooting people.
Right?
That's what happens. I'm like, yo, if
It's a game.
you're that screwed up in the head, don't play video games. Don't even talk to people, man. Talk to the therapist and that's it. You should not be
Right?
in any setting where your anger gets that free and high that you're gonna harm somebody, man. I hope you're rotting in jail. And I hope they threw that dude in jail too. Holy crap.
Oh, I know. People get so angry. Like, people get so angry over games. It's crazy. It's crazy. Like, and yeah, like, that's a thing in online shooters and stuff, especially if it's, like, public server or whatever. Like, people can obviously, like, grab your IP and stuff and try to figure out where you are, but people used to swat each other. I'm sure people still do that. Streamers get swatted. Everyone gets swatted. Like, it's crazy. They'll just call in, like, oh, there's a hostage situation or, you know, like, anything like that to send out, you know, a task force. And people get, like, seriously fucking injured and killed by that kind of stuff. Like, it's insane. Gamer rage is crazy.
You know, it is. And the thing is, there is something too, like when I used to think back in the day, like, remember when we were growing up, how parents would say, oh, video games corrupt their mind and they make them do these things. In those cases, there is something to that because,
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh, yeah.
damn.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I've gotten mad.
Of course.
I've gotten mad in Dead by Daylight and Fortnite and all that stuff, but I'm not going to go to somebody's house and beat the crap out of them. You know,
Exactly.
like come on.
Exactly.
Holy crap.
Exactly.
Y'all got to be careful who y'all
People are
playing.
unreal.
You got to be careful who y'all playing these games with. And the thing is with that, I got one more. Again, this is Alpha Omega Sin telling me that there was a kid. He's probably a grown ass man now. 17-year-old kid that would go play with, online as far he would, go find girls that play games online and then he would be hitting on them and trying to get with them. Of course, you're going to get rejected. When I tell you this guy was making their life hell, like he was calling their colleges, getting these girls kicked out of college, getting them fired from their jobs and freaking. And I'm like, dude, like, didn't anybody ever teach you?
Seems about right.
Didn't anybody ever teach you how to take rejection? Like,
No.
Holy
No.
crap.
No, and then you get stalkers and yep.
You know how many times I've been rejected in life since I first learned how to understand my father and what he was saying. I've been rejected my whole entire life when it comes to something, when it comes to girls not making the football team, not getting a job. things like
Yeah.
that. You gonna stalk these girls and do all this stuff to them just because they wouldn't give you their number and all that. Like, what the hell's wrong with you, bro?
Yeah, it's
Take the L and
it's
move on.
crazy. Take the L and move on. Yeah, I know, and that's kind of the reason I think why a lot of women kind of like stray away from the whole thing now is because like you never know if you're gonna reject a guy and then suddenly you're in 3 trash bags spread across the country,
Yeah, I mean, you got.
But yeah,
I
I
re-
don't know.
I read some stories on that where it's the reverse, where it's girls doing that stuff, and it's like, yo,
Oh yeah,
they're on that. Don't fight it, don't you want me? They're on that stuff, and I'm like,
yeah.
wait a minute. It's like, damn. You ever seen that movie, The Crush, with Alicia Silverstone?
No.
Scary stuff, man.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Stalkers are just scary as fuck.
Yeah.
Stalkers are scary. I don't.
So y'all gotta be careful out there. Like, playing games online is a good thing, but you're gonna get some nutcases out there, man. Just
be careful.
Be extra
Be careful.
I know I laughed
exactly.
I laughed at the thought of somebody doing that stuff, not the fact that it actually happened to them.
Yeah, the actual reality is terrifying. Exactly.
It's like, you ever seen that episode of SpongeBob SquarePants where Patrick was working at the Krusty Krab and the caller calls in and he's like, is this the Krusty Krab? He's like, I'm not a Krusty Krab. No, this is Patrick.
Oh yeah. And then, no, this is Patrick. Yes.
And then that last call that he did, and then he had his arms folded. He's like, I'm not a Krusty Krab. That's what I was picturing with that dude being on the airplane, man.
That's just so wild.
God.
That's like so wild.
Yeah, this is
glory
insane.
Of the internet.
Since we're on, mouth breathers and these guys out here who are getting butthurt over everything. Stellar Blade for the PS5.
Oh, this is gonna be good because I'm gonna fight you on this one.
It's getting more and more difficult to defend video gamers these days. It really is, because we actually have people who got upset, and I can assume that it's guys, because guys, we got to take the L for that. When Stellar Blade first, when it was first announced, they had like very sexually revealing costumes that you see in a lot of these games that have, females in it. When the game came out, the game had different costumes, so they were less revealing. Do you know that these guys got so upset that they actually started a petition to get the game back to the way that it was? Like, these guys are so butthurt, they're so angry that, I can't see more cleavage, that you're gonna. I can't defend this.
I know.
I can't defend. I
know.
That. To me, that's
isn't it Sony?
Yeah, this is for PlayStation. This is exclusively for PlayStation.
I was wondering. Yeah, like I'm the same way. I'm like about it, but like censorship is a slippery slope. Just because I want something changed, doesn't mean that suddenly like everything's changed. But do you know why that is? Do you know why Sony does that? It's because everything goes through Sony California. Ever since they got once they got an HQ in California, like things started changing censorship wise, which like it's kind of whatever though. Like it's like every country has their censorship. Like you can't have like in Japan, like characters need to have 5 fingers. They can't have less than 5 fingers.
Yeah, because the Yakuza, like that's why.
Yeah,
and it's
chop off your pinkies.
It's crazy that you mentioned that, because that's how it is in Dragon Ball. Like, a lot of people don't realize, just real quick, if you're an anime fan and you read the manga, Piccolo has 4 fingers. But when they did the anime, they made it 5, because in Japan you got, the Yakuza and chopping off your finger and stuff. They didn't want that. They didn't want that to be associated with it. So it's crazy. It's just everything has their censorship. Like, for instance, the Resident Evil games over in Japan, you don't get the blood and gore that you get. Like
no decapitation.
Yeah, the Resident Evil 2 remake, they actually cut out the blood and stuff out in the Japanese version and stuff.
Yeah.
So
it's weird, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Like they both like yeah, like it's insane, yeah, because yeah, Japan's like no gore and like the North America's like no sex and it's just really funny to me. I always thought that was wild. And
Yeah.
then there's China, no time travel.
What the hell? They don't got no time travel concepts?
Nope, time travel's banned.
What?
No, time travel is technically banned. There's loopholes, but like it's stuff like that. Yeah, they won't even let you show time travel, but
Okay,
everything's banned in China. So
please tell me in a quick way how the hell that makes any sense.
I believe it is dishonorable and may like because it's the Communist Party of China, right? So like I think the reason is literally just like it's I can't even look it up, but whatever. What's up, lol girl? What? Let me find out. Okay, we're looking at why is time travel banned in China. Okay. Okay. Issue guidelines restricting the production and dissemination of TV shows and movies featuring time travel, saying that these tales lack positive thought and meaning.
You know
I
that
don't think you were ever going to get anything rational out of China.
that sounds like the crap that they're doing here, like in Florida. Do you know that, off on a quick thing here, the teachers are restricting on what they can teach children here. Like they're not allowed to talk about American history, Black history.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
not allowed to talk about Jewish history and stuff. They're not allowed to talk about gender because, quote unquote, we don't want to offend people. We don't want people's feelings to get hurt.
No,
And I turn into
no.
I turn into George Carlin when I hear crap like that. And I'm sorry, mom and dad, but I'm like, fuck their feelings. Just because somebody needs to know the truth about stuff. How the hell? Like we gotta stop with this stuff, man. These freaking sensitive ass people out here who can't even take words. Like, come on, man. Just
They're
go.
straight up censoring history at this point, and they're changing it too, right? So, yeah, like I can remember, holy shit, the amount of history that I learned, which was awful, was horrible.
Oh
Just
man,
like, you know,
every country got their dirt. That's why it's on the parents to teach their
yep.
children. It's on you parents to teach your children what they need to know before they go to school. My father, I appreciate my father for everything that he does, but my father is always teaching me things. Ever since I was a kid all the way up, he taught me about computers, taught me how to cook. He taught me about music. Hey, did you know this, son? Did you know that this artist did this? Always teaching me something. That stuff, like, you don't realize how important that stuff is until you get older.
Yeah. Oh, exactly. Exactly. No, absolutely. And that's just kind of how it is now. Like, you have a kid and once it's a toddler, put a screen in front of it. And then once they're old enough to go to school, well, it's now the teacher's problem, and which is just like crazy to me.
Well, that's why a lot of teachers are retiring now because they're like, there's no home ec anymore. There's no recess.
There's no home ec anymore?
No, they took that out of the schools.
That's crazy.
They took wood shop out of the schools. So it's like, oh my God, like what are these kids teaching? What are they learning? How to breathe?
Wow.
Pretty soon it's gonna get to a point where all you gotta do to get into college is learn how to breathe and know how to write your name.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. Wait, LL Girl says it's not even when she was in school. Really? Really? Maybe it's because I grew up in like this tiny ass like village. But home ec, wood shop and home ec, wood shop and automotive were like very popular, especially the latter two because when you grew up in a farm town, like it was kind of assumed like might as well teach these kids like, oh, and we had metal shop too. We had home ec, metal shop, wood shop, and automotive class.
Yeah,
That's what we actually had growing up.
we had all of that stuff because I think it's important for you to learn, the skills that you need to learn to
Yeah.
be a productive human being. You
Yep.
know,
But now we don't.
yeah, we don't, and kids are getting dumber by the minute. I hate to say it. Anyways, though, like I didn't mean to go off on a side
You.
tangent. But
That's okay.
back to the Stellar
Oh my
Blade.
gosh, I accidentally. Sorry, go ahead. Go ahead. I just did something wrong. Go ahead.
Back to this Stellar Blade bullshit.
Not mean to do that.
It says that not every fan was delighted with the PS5 debut. Eagle-eyed players spotted some changes to a couple of costumes within the final product, promoting accusations of censorship from publisher Sony, of course. It wouldn't be the first time that the Japanese giant has requested changes in the PlayStation games. A petition on change.org with the accompanying hashtag Free Stellar Blade has blown up over the weekend, and it's just
Really?
yeah, like they actually created a petition to get these revealing, so she can be more naked. I guess you can say. My thing is, play the damn game. I don't care. I don't care what she's wearing as long as she's not naked in the game. Am I enjoying playing the game? That's all I care about. What the hell is wrong with you? Can't defend that.
Yeah, I know.
There's no defending some bullshit like that. You're gonna get that butt hurt that you're gonna cause an uproar just because you can't see some girl's cleavage. Like, come on, man.
Right?
It's like, come on,
Right?
now. Like, what are you doing with your life? What are you doing?
Enjoy
with
the
your
actual game.
What are you doing?
Enjoy the actual game. That's actually in Resident Evil 3. I actually had that, like, for Resident Evil 3, the remake, actually. This was awful. Like, when I was trying to find cute outfits for Jill for mods, and I lost, like, every page I clicked next on for mods, I lost so much faith in humanity. I was like, Jill is a lady. Do not do that to her. And then I found one outfit, and I'm like, oh, okay, this is a cute outfit. And then I was just playing around with it, and I made her dodge, and then I realized, like, oh, okay, this thing actually has a full nude mod underneath it. Like, it was a cute sweater dress, kind of like what Ada wears. But yeah, and I was like, all right, you know what? I'm just never touching this again. Like, y'all need to calm down. It's crazy.
Yeah, continue. I got to put the mic on mute because this idiot with the motorcycle out here.
Oh yeah, no worries, no worries. I'll continue, absolutely no problem. Yeah, it just like frig, like it was just it's so weird. It's so weird. Like I totally get it, right? Like I guess, but frig, man, like just enjoy the actual game. All right, just enjoy the actual game.
Yeah, and it's not just Resident Evil that they're doing that for. Like, they got it for the Tomb Raiders, the Tomb Raider games. If you are a lady in a video game, you have a nude mod somewhere.
Oh yeah, exactly.
And it's like, to me, it's like, I don't like that stuff like that. Like, honestly, I am a man, but I'm also a grown ass man.
Yeah,
I'm not titillated by seeing a video game girl naked. Like, come on, man.
Right.
Like, I didn't buy the game to see that. I did not buy the game to see that. I want to play the video game. And it's like, you're right, because you're going through mods on Nexus mods, and you're just seeing, like I said, just naked mods. And even with the guys, they got Leon up there. They got Chris up there, and I'm like, no.
Oh yeah. When I was doing rendering and stuff, I was looking for different characters from Resident Evil to make the renders on Blender. Oh man, I made a mistake looking for Chris Redfield models without a without a filter on it. I was like, oh man. Oh my god. Just stuff like that. I was like, oh man.
Oh man, I didn't buy Resident Evil 4 to see sausage flying in the wind, dude. Like, I don't want to see that stuff. Like, come on, man. I'm like, I didn't get it for that. This ain't no sausage fest, man. I'm like, yo. People be ruining your damn experience in the game, dude.
I
Oh,
know.
I'm like, oh man, like people just they love to just try to take stuff and try to ruin it, man. Like
Oh yeah.
it made me think back to when the first Tomb Raider came out in '96. Remember when they had that alleged nude code?
Oh yeah, I was actually thinking about that from the start. Oh yeah. And then didn't they later add it in another game except Lara just exploded?
Yeah, they trolled Square Enix. It was called Enix back then before they merged. Because
Yeah, it was still Enix.
you had SquareSoft and then you had Enix and then they merged to make Square Enix. They had it to it's like you would put the code in, Law would explode, and then you would have to start the game all over again.
That's so funny.
Now that's how you troll gamers. That's how you do it.
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. It's perfect.
You know, but like I
So
said,
funny.
there's no defending that. Like I'm just saying, like, you know, when I play a video game, I just want to play because it's a fun game. I don't care about all that other stuff. I don't care what she's wearing.
No.
You know, like
Oh, exactly.
what is wrong with you dudes? Like seriously, like you seriously.
No.
We talk about coding. We talk about coding because that's what I'm studying. You know, I'm studying HTML, CSS, JavaScript, stuff like that. And I tell you how time consuming that is and how difficult it is. The fact that you got people who take the time to create bullshit like that.
Right? There's someone out there right now. My virtual titties. You're not going to take away my virtual titties. Like, you know, there's someone out there seething right now over that. Like, just mad.
Yeah, also so they can fire off knuckle choking in their living room. Get that reference.
Oh, man. Awful.
And I'm like,
Good God.
I'm like, you get to an age in life where it's like, you know, come on, grow up, dude. Grow up, man.
Yeah.
You know,
exactly.
and it's like, it's stuff like this, you know, when people say that video gamers are like the scum of the earth, it's hard to defend it sometimes when you see bullshit like this.
And then people going out and attacking each other with hammers, like.
And
well, we don't have to. Go ahead.
Choking people and stuff just because you got your ass whooped.
Exactly.
It's like, damn, that's no that's no excuse to go homer somebody just because you got beat. Like,
yep. We don't have the best represent.
I'm just trying to picture that. Like, so you're mad on the whole entire thing. Like, do you just go and knock on the dude's door, knock on the kid's door, and then when the kid comes, you just, why you little? I told you not to freaking like,
right?
On, like, oh my God, dude,
it's crazy.
We
people are unhinged.
We got some dumbass people.
That's coming from me.
We got some dumbass people.
You know what's bad when I'm calling people crazy? Like people, yeah, it's wild. It's wild. I can't imagine why a game would make you that angry.
Yeah, these people are so crazy. Even Kanye West would be like, "Whoa, what the hell?" Even he's all messed up, man.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah.
So if you, and the funny thing is, you know that there were people that probably signed that petition. You know that there were people that freaking put that thing up.
Absolutely.
Probably going to streamers and stuff, and probably going to big YouTubers and be like, "Hey, can you promote this petition?" Because I listen to the Solid Monster, which is my favorite wrestling podcaster. And people pepper him with that stuff sometimes. Just some of the dumbest crap. Hey, can you promote this petition to some stupid crap? He's like, man, if you don't get up out of here. Not promoting that stuff. People need to grow up, man. Get out of the house.
Right.
Go meet some people. Go actually see real women in the world. So you won't have to worry on polygon boobs and all that stuff bouncing around in your house.
Polygons. Yep.
Dude.
It's tall order sometimes.
Yeah. Craziness, folks. Craziness.
Exactly.
You know, but let's move on here.
Yeah.
You know. My God.
Oh, man.
Oh my god,
And
dude.
we're really having this conversation.
The fact
Like
that
we need to, like,
the fact that we even need to talk about stuff like this is just it's melting my brain. Like seriously, like my brain is like a bowl of Captain Crunch up there right now.
I know, right? That's so funny.
Yeah. Now
So
that
funny.
we moved past the craziness, folks. Now we can talk about what the video game companies are doing to us and screwing us over and all of that, all of that glorious stuff. While they smile in your face while
As
doing
they
it.
tend to.
Yeah, and they smile in your face while they do it too. We just want to do what's best for the fan base
Hmm.
while we're screwing them up a mountain and down the other side. Yeah.
Right? Exactly.
Good old stuff. So I want to talk about the Elden Ring, the new Elden Ring DLC that they just came out with. And they didn't think people that wouldn't notice this stuff. Now, it's cool that you come out with a DLC. It's cool that you come out
Yeah.
with a DLC, but when you have bullshit criteria like this, like what were they thinking? Like
Yeah.
they came out with the Shadow of Erdtree. But do you know that if you don't beat 2 optional bosses, they gave the players 2 weeks to do this. When they first announced it, if you don't beat 2 optional bosses, you can't access this DLC,
You can't.
even though you bought it.
Which is crazy. Just crazy.
Not only, not only did they tell you, but it was kind of like they just nonchalantly just didn't care. Like oh, players have 2 weeks. They have 2 weeks to complete this, so you can do that. Why would you do that? Like, why would you turn half of
Right?
your fan base off? You know
Yeah, that's interesting.
you know they want
Right?
to.
Like that is
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
quite the. No, it's okay. It's just like I don't know, having a herd like that, but at the same time, like technically that has been done before. It's like when like MMOs were bad for it. MMOs are bad for it. I think some of them change it. I know Final Fantasy 14 still has it, but like used to have it where like you could not do any of the new stuff. Like Final Fantasy 14 is actually a great example because the game does not get fun. Like you have to go through like 3 expansion packs before the game actually gets fun, and you're forced to do that. Like or if you really want to get to end game, you can just pay them. You can just pay them to skip. But like I think I feel like having those kinds of like gates up to experience a game like that is crazy.
I mean, that's a bullshit way to do things. So go through this long, strenuous journey. Play the game the way that it's intended to be played, but we're gonna cut out shit so that you can't play it, or you can just pay us to do it. Like,
Paying us to do it is the worst.
where's the fun in that? Look, I haven't played a Final Fantasy game since Final Fantasy X2 for the PS2.
Yeah.
Well, actually, no, I'm wrong. I played Final Fantasy 13 for a day, and then I took it right back the next day because that game absolutely sucks. It's boring.
Yeah.
I had more fun watching paint dry than I did playing Final Fantasy 13. Bland, boring, just like the freaking keto cereal that we got out here.
The keto cereal. That sounds gross.
I gotta tell you something real quick. Like, this is just a funny story.
Yeah.
I eat healthy. In my store over here, the Target over here next door, I went and I bought these keto Pop Tarts. Like they look like the pastries and stuff, but it's like keto and stuff.
Oh, I can already tell they're gonna be gross.
And I was like, yeah, let me give this a try. When I tell you that them damn things was so damn dry, like, I took a bite out of that thing. I started choking, man. I drank like a half a gallon of water, still choking. And then I'm like, yo, am I gonna die? Is this gonna be on my tombstone? Died from a fake ass Pop Tart?
Right? Same with gluten free. Like my sister can't have gluten, and oh my lord, yuck. That's all I have to say on that. So I can't imagine keto Pop Tarts. Like, what is in that? Like, what the hell did they put in it to get rid of the carbs then?
Kelsey, it was so bad that when I put it outside
Oh,
for when I put it outside for the cats, they wouldn't even eat it. That's how bad it is.
no, not in the birds.
And
Not in the birds, not in the mice. They know it's hell.
the texture is hard. Like I swear to God, it felt like I was taking a bite out of a sponge.
Yuck.
And I was like, dude, like
Ugh.
I never do reviews on stuff when it comes to, when it comes to like food products from Target, but I went on there specifically just to bash the hell out of that.
Yeah.
I was
Oh,
like,
I would too.
I was like, these damn things are so damn nasty. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, keto stuff.
Right?
Anytime
Just
you
give me
see,
1 second. Continue on. I
yeah,
just need to be right back super quick. Continue on.
I see you, Spookylicious. They're feeding us dangerous, cheap chemicals to make money. Yeah, they are. I mean, if you look at, not to get too political, Spooky, but if you notice that, if you read the sponsorships for a lot of like the hospital stuff when they're giving us medicine and stuff like that, you'll see places like McDonald's and fast food spots because they're all connected. The fast food places are making us sick so that we get sent to the doctor and they put us on these medications that we have to pay an arm and a leg for. It's all connected. And the food is getting worse because I ain't never, you seen these chickens.
Sure is.
I swear, these chickens in the supermarket, man, they got arms bigger than me. Like the chicken.
Oh, I know. I remember when people come down from the city going shopping and they're like, "Why are your chickens so small?" And I was like, because they're not being like force fed a whole bunch of like crap and steroids. Like they're, like even stuff like that. Yeah. In the city, the chickens are like this. No, here it's like doo doo doo, like tiny,
Yeah, it's bad because
tiny.
like our stuff, like no chicken should be that damn big. Like I'm like, yo, I mean,
Nope.
now the big fat guy inside of me is like, hell yeah, more chicken. But the other side, the more conscious side of me is like, wait a minute, that's not normal. That they got veins and stuff. Like it looked like this chicken was working out before they took
Oh
it out.
yeah. It's absolutely nasty. And Spookier says, yeah, told her she worked out with carry Coca-Cola products because of that sponsorship, which is crazy because that's how we got the opioid crisis. That's that little tiny thing. That's pretty much how we got the opiate crisis. Is they were getting like, wow, we're so off topic. It doesn't matter. Like they were literally like I watched a documentary and I read a book about it. Yeah, they were going around to hospitals and pretty much just saying like, here, like pass these out. Pass these out. They're not addictive. And now here we are.
Yeah, James said, you said when chicken looks like John Cena, I'm not going to eat it.
Yeah, hell no.
Yeah, you can't see me, man. I mean, so wait a minute, you're eating invisible chicken, man? Like what's wrong with you, man?
That was my question.
Like
Waiting for that joke.
James, did they just sell you like an empty package, man? Is that what happened?
Oh my god.
But yeah.
Awful.
It's just awful, man. Like our food, our food is killing us, man. It is. That's why
it is.
My father made sure y'all need to know how to cook, so you can cook your own food. You know what's in it, what's not in it, and don't buy anything. Anytime you see keto on anything, with the exception of Magic cereal, have you ever had that?
No, I haven't.
Magic cereal is really good. Magic cereal is really good. No, I do recommend that. Anyways.
Okay.
Back to what I was.
Anyhow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Back to the matter at hand.
Yeah. Back to the matter at hand. So, like I said, with the expansion pack that they did, the DLC. So, if you don't defeat the optional boss in Elden Ring, I guess it's Mohg, I think, or Mog. I think that's how you say his name, Mohg. The Lord of Blood. If you don't defeat him in your current playthrough, you're not going to be able to get access to this DLC. And I don't know about you, but if I paid for DLC, I expect to be able to play that DLC.
Yeah. Well, like, it makes sense. Maybe they need you to finish the main story, but like doing optionals is kind of annoying.
That was bullshit though. Like when they did that, no, it should not be a requirement to find an optional boss that nobody even knew where they didn't even know where he was. It's easy to skip an optional boss. You know how many times I've done that in games?
That's crazy.
I don't find out
That's crazy.
that there's a secret boss or secret weapon until you go back through the game again.
Yeah, exactly. That's normal.
And imagine spending $10 for this thing and you can't even play it. They got to shape up
Hell
with
no.
this stuff, man. I would not blame people if they, you know what, I'm just going to refund it. But people are not going to do that because, you know, people like that game. And you know, when they do that, that's just telling companies, as I said before, that it's cool to do stupid shit like this. When you don't say anything.
Exactly.
You know?
Yep.
But that's that whole thing. So if you don't beat the optional boss, you can't play. So there you go. And another, speaking of,
Thanks, FromSoft.
yeah, thank you very much. And I will not be playing your game.
Yeah.
You know, because it's like I don't give a crap how good it is. Because when you do bullshit like that and you're telling people, now, so you got to go all the way back. Like, say you get past the part where you got to fight this guy and you can't go back anymore because you know games got that. You got to go all the way back.
Point of no return. Yeah.
To the beginning and play this game all over again just to get to him and then, you know, beat him and then be able to play the game the way that everybody else is playing it. And I don't have the patience for that. And
no.
For you to pull bullshit on players like that, that's yo, screw y'all, man. Screw you. You know?
Exactly.
And speaking of other countries to screw, Nintendo.
Yay!
Good old giant conglomerate that we got out here. I want to talk to y'all about something. This is a thing that they try to pull, and I think that they still pull it now. Like honestly, I've been thinking about it for a week. I'm like, I wonder if Nintendo still does this now. You know, because you have the online service and stuff. But Nintendo back in the day was doing price fixing. For those of y'all who don't know what that is, they were going to stores and basically threatening them to keep their products at full price. Otherwise, they were not going to be selling Nintendo products in the store. And this was back.
Yeah, Steam got into shit for that, I think, recently.
So
it still happens.
So they're still doing that crap now.
Well, what they did was they were making developers sign a contract that says that you can't sell your product cheaper on any other platform. So pretty much.
That's BS. Because you're screwing the customers in that. And Nintendo got into hot water. They got into hot water for that and they got punished. But I mean, was it really worth what they actually gave us? Now, this took place in 1991 when they got taken to court because those companies were tired of Nintendo, you know, strong arming them. And that's not the first time that Nintendo ever did that because Nintendo always does that. Remember when I told you guys
Nintendo's like 100 years old.
Yeah. Remember when I told you guys that
You've got a lot.
Remember when I told you guys that story about when Nintendo was looking to get a CD attachment for the Super Nintendo, and they went to Sony, and then they went to Philips. Nintendo, they were always like that because Nintendo wanted all of the money. They wanted all of everything, you know, and people didn't want to work with that. They're like, no, you can't have all the credibility and all the money. That's not fair. Nintendo always does that stuff. So what happened? They created their own enemy.
They do.
Because Sony took what they had and they went and created the first PlayStation. All because Nintendo was greedy.
Thanks, Nintendo.
You know, and it's ridiculous how they get away with stuff like that. And they got taken to court, you know, because it's in the newspapers. Nintendo had to pay out gift certificates, you know, gift certificates across 39 different states over here in the US, but it was only $5 gift
How much?
certificates.
It was only
It
Oh, did it come with them spitting in your eye too?
probably came with a picture of a freaking middle finger in your face. You know,
Right?
but it's like
Right?
if you bought any Nintendo game or any any of their hardware, you get a $5 gift certificate. I'm like, so Nintendo got the last laugh anyways because they didn't really get punished for anything.
Yeah.
$5 is nothing. Like
No,
what?
they clearly didn't. No,
Like
$5 is nothing.
yeah, and you know that Nintendo got mad in this story talking about, oh, they're trying to hurt our credibility, and oh, we would never do that to the fan base. They didn't outright deny and say that we didn't do that.
Nope.
You know, and it's
But
just part of me is just like, okay, well, they must still be doing, they gotta still be doing that stuff now because very rarely do you see Nintendo Switch games on sale. They're
I
always,
was going to say James in chat just said that. James, I want to play Breath of Wild on my Switch, but I'm not paying for full price for a launch title that came out 7 years ago. So they're still doing that. That's crazy.
yes,
7-year-old game still full price.
it's crazy. And it's worse because they can do it more now because the game is online. They're selling it on eShop for most of this stuff.
Yeah.
So they can sell this game. Like, I'll give you an example. When I had the Nintendo Switch, there was a game called Attack on Titans 2. And I really want to play that game. Koei made it. Do you know that game is still being sold for $50?
Really?
And it's still being sold for $60 on Steam. That's and I'm like, way to go, Bandai Namco.
I'm going to Google something. I'm just keep going.
And I'm like,
But yeah, that's like insane.
and I told myself then when I had the Switch, I'm like, I'm not paying full price for that. I'm like,
No, I wouldn't be.
And I'm like, yo, I think that these companies are still doing that stuff where they're forcing, instead of going to the physical stores, they're going to these websites and telling them, hey, you're gonna sell our products for full price, or we're gonna take our products off your store. I guarantee they're doing that.
Yeah.
And if
I'm sure they still are.
you know, and it's like, and the people who end up getting screwed in this is the consumer, us, because we're the ones. You know, people don't want to pay full price for these games that are that old.
No, I wouldn't.
You know, you don't want for something that old.
I wouldn't want to.
You know, and then it's like, okay, so we're not going to pay for that. If the stores don't follow what these companies say, then they take it off the store. So then we still get screwed because we don't get access to that game unless you go through third party.
Exactly.
And I'm like,
it's crazy.
What purpose does this serve? That's my thing. Like, I'm trying to figure out what purpose does this serve? Losing money like that. They must not like money because they do a whole bunch of dumb crap that requires them to
Or they
lose.
just have like an insane amount of fuck you money at this point. They must. That must be the other part. Like they probably make more off this than what they would have to pay in fines.
Yeah, that's true. And you know what? Because there's always going to be, again, I keep bringing it up, there's always going to be the fan base that are going to keep supporting these guys no matter what. Nintendo could break into your house. Yep. They could break into your house, eat all the food in there, and freaking shoot everybody. And you would still have somebody,
and attack you with a hammer.
Yeah, or choke you. Either one. You know, and you still have fans that would still be like, oh, Nintendo. They would still support these guys, man. I'm like, I don't get it. I don't. Like, you're supposed to be,
no.
You know, I always thought growing up that you're supposed to peddle your wares to get our interest to buy your product. Now I think that these companies make so much money, they just don't care. They don't care anymore.
Oh, no. Oh, no, of course not.
They give us half-baked remakes like Resident Evil 3. And it's just like, oh well, you're just gonna take it,
Yep.
or
Well,
they're giving us crappy looking games like that Last Alone in the Dark. And I'm just like, I'm getting kind of tired of it, man. Like I see why people are
because it's a monopoly.
well, I see why people are going back and buying the older consoles and just getting the older games.
Yeah, exactly, right? It just makes more sense.
And it's like for Nintendo to be able to get away with that, like it's just crazy to me how they were able to do that. And
Isn't it?
it wasn't just the US. They did it to every country. They did it in the UK. They did it over there in Japan, and the UK and Japan and Canada, y'all got it worse because
Oh yeah.
y'all games cost way more than ours does here.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, trust me, I know. I know, trust me, don't worry. If I want the Silent Hill 2 remake, it's going to be $90.
$90 for that game that doesn't even look like it's worth that.
Full price games here now, like full price AAA games here now cost about $100, yeah.
Yeah,
Around that.
That's crazy. And in Australia, it's like $120 for a game.
Yeah, yeah. Australia and Canada kind of have like the same economical issues right now. So yeah, which is crazy. Just crazy, because I remember being young and someone being like, oh, minimum wage is like $24 or something an hour in Australia. And I was like, what? And now minimum wage here is like $18. And I was like, you know what? Oh, it's fine.
It's ridiculous.
Like, crazy.
I mean, so the console, so how much does the average console cost for you guys up there? Like, let's say, you went crazy and you wanted to buy an Xbox Series X or PS5. How much is the price up there for that?
What's the current price for a PS5?
Down here, like you're guaranteed to pay $600 for a PS5.
PS5 has to be like thousands. All right, let me check. Let me see.
For Xbox.
Oh no, it's not that bad. $649 for the Slim though.
Yeah, for the Slim model that they came out with. So I can't even imagine how much the Pro costs.
Yeah. What does James say here? Bought the newest Pokemon game for my Canadian friend. It's like $20 more expensive. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Like it's absolutely like we're absolutely in shambles. Like I think $1 American is like 37 cents.
Yeah, just to play a game.
Crazy.
And it's like I cannot imagine how much worse it is for you guys. Okay, so you gotta buy a console, then you gotta pay almost $100 for one game? For one game? Like what are they thinking?
Yeah.
What are they thinking? Like,
yeah.
Like y'all gotta be out of your minds. Like people are struggling enough now. They're struggling to pay rent, they're struggling to eat, and you expect for them to come up with that?
Well, I mean, $100 here gets you a week's groceries. $100 gets you a week of groceries here. That's about it.
Yeah, that's pretty much how it is here. Unless you go to these fast food places,
yeah,
with the value menus and the dollar menus.
Hell nah, hell nah. Make a bulk meal out of veggies, rice, and chicken. And then what you want to do is you just want to use a different seasoning and a different sauce, and you got a meal for like however long. That's how I do it because I'm just one person living here, right? So
get yourself an air fryer, or go get yourself something because you don't have to cook with oil in the air fryer, and you make yourself a big ass. Like I make like a big ass pot of spaghetti, squash spaghetti though. It's really good. Squash spaghetti, and you throw the meat in there and stuff. Make that stuff. Good. I get at least like 5 days out of that.
Yeah, bulk meals.
So it's like I could not picture myself buying a game for $100. I can't do it.
No, I don't want to.
Does it ever go on sale?
I don't want to. Yeah. I just don't.
That's like you're better off. You're better off saying, hey, like when I gifted you those things, the games that I gifted you for your birthday, them things were dirt cheap here for me.
So
And it was
it
like,
doesn't matter.
no, I'm
Price
just
tag doesn't matter.
no, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that that's how much games like that should cost when they get that old.
Oh yeah, I actually remember someone saying, what did they say? They were like asking me about this game, and they're like it's 37 cents or whatever in their country, and I'm like, really? Because $3 here.
Yeah, the Dead Space. Just using Dead Space for an example, Dead Space is like $2.39 here. So
Yeah,
I'm like,
it's crazy.
I'm like, I bought, honestly, I went on a Tomb Raider sale here. I bought four, I think, let's see, Tomb Raider Legends Anniversary. I bought 6 Tomb Raider games for like $15.
Yeah,
And I was like,
that's
hell yes.
it's like with Resident Evil. I got Resident Evil 2, 3, 7, and 8 for under $20 total.
James, you better be careful what you wish for, man. Because if it turns out that that game is crap, I am going to bring this back up the next time you're here. I'll be like, didn't James...
Well, thank God Steam lets you play for 2 hours before refunding.
Yeah, because I was like, yo...
I'll know in the first 2 hours.
If this game turns out to be bad, I'm going to be like, hey, didn't James pay full price for this?
Yeah. It's awful.
Yes, folks, it's getting bad out here. And I think that these companies know that people want this stuff. They know that people are struggling, but they're just gonna do whatever they got to do. And it's gonna get to a point where nobody's happy because these companies are not gonna be making money because people can't afford it. The players are not gonna be happy because they can't play the new video games anymore. So what does this serve? Like, what purpose does this serve?
The almighty dollar.
Yeah.
The gold standard, that's what she serves.
Yeah, well, the American dollar, a cheese sandwich is worth more than that these days. So it's like, it's ridiculous. Anyways, though, yeah, Nintendo, and that's funny because 1991, when that case went into, when they went into that case, you know what the date was?
What?
April 11th, 1991. So yours truly just turned 4 years old that day.
Oh, yeah. That's so funny. I was still a concept. I was still 2 years off from the concept of Kelsey being realized.
Yeah, and it was just a few months before I got my first Nintendo. I told y'all that story about, my father doing that.
Yeah.
So that's just crazy to read that they were doing that stuff. And that's the funny thing is, that's not the only time that they got caught with that, because 2008, they got taken back to court for doing the same thing again. Nintendo strong arming GameStop and mom and pop shops, and they got taken to court again, and they had to pay out money to the players again. This time it was $10. Huzzah!
Right? Yay! $10! Yay!
Hooray! I'm sure that would do good in my car. But...
Right? I was literally going to say, you step outside your door 2 steps and you've already spent $10 at this rate.
Yeah, I think that's how life is going to be in the future, though. Like, it's going to be like one big video game where you have, do you want to take a shower? You want to take a shower? In order for the water to come on, you must pay $5. Do you want
gross?
Do you want to eat this food? You want to open the refrigerator? You must pay DLC to open the refrigerator.
Right?
Yeah, they're gonna. Don't be surprised when they start designing electronics that make us do that.
Right? Oh, we will.
Yeah, we will. They're gonna be like, "Oh, you want to use this makeup, Kelsey? You must pay $10."
Well, now here I am. I'm like, okay, well, see, and you can joke and be like, nah, that's useless, and that's something that you actually like have fun with and enjoy. And now I'm like,
yeah, I'm gonna tell you.
Well, and that's how they get us.
Yeah,
with video games. See?
I'm gonna tell you like this: if it does end up like
Crazy.
that, and they be like, "Yo, Kennedy, in order for you to use this beard oil, you must pay $5." I'm going to Ace Hardware and I'm gonna buy a hammer.
The hammer. Oh, frig. I
Now,
feel like that's going to be a joke for a while.
now you, I mean, the thing is, is like,
It's
now
funny.
that I can stay mad at long enough, like, cause y'all don't know the pain of having a dry ass beard, man. It's uncomfortable, man. You ever see like them? You ever seen like what cats do when they take their claws and they dig up the pillows and stuff? That's what a dry ass beard feels
Yeah.
like.
Oh, I'm sure.
Like I need the beard oil,
Ugh.
the beard butter and all that, man. My beard smells like
You
strawberry.
gotta.
Smells like strawberry right now.
Oh, that sounds good. No, I get that. I use like 4 or 5 different products in my hair because otherwise my hair is going to be out to here. I'm going to literally have like this is my hair actually tamed and styled. If not, it's going to be out to here. So I get that. I get that.
All you need is just like a fan, and you just have like the illustrious hair blowing in the wind, and you're doing like this slow motion thing, shaking your head.
I love that I love that. I do that when when I walk outside and it's windy. No kidding you. I push my hair back. That's got to be something everyone with long hair does. You push your hair back and you just feel it like flowing. I can't be the only person with long hair who does that.
I mean, considering my hair looks like Velcro, it looks like like a microphone. Like my hair doesn't do that. My hair literally just stays in place, man.
Oh man.
Oh man. Yeah, people are funny like that. But yeah, Nintendo got in trouble with that in 2008, so I wouldn't even be surprised if they're still doing that now. If they're still
I'm sure.
they're still doing it, and it's probably easier for them to do it more now because what game stores are still around here? The only thing we got around here is GameStop. All the other stores are out of business.
Kind of going out.
And I ain't buying nothing from GameStop. They suck. So it's like,
No, exactly.
So
yeah, I'm going to be talking about that in a bit, actually. Yeah. Because, like, even game stores suck.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, they're still selling stuff for full price online. Like, if you go on
I know.
If you go on GameStop online, they got Xbox One games that are still being sold for $40-$50.
That someone traded in and got $10 for.
Yeah, $5, and then they turn around and put it on sale. Like, damn, it's like you can't go nowhere without somebody screwing you, man. It's crazy.
Exactly. Yep. Exactly.
And it's thank God for these the other sites like CD Keys. Thank God for those sites, because I wouldn't even have pretty much any of these games that I got here on this screen here. Like Dead by Daylight, I
get all mine.
I only paid $9 for that on there.
Yeah, it's a good deal, isn't it?
Yes, it is. It's better than paying $125. Because they're charging that, to get all the DLC and all that bullshit. But yes, Nintendo and their crap. They had to pay a total of $4.7 million to 39 states, and they only gave us $5 each.
That's crazy.
Yep. Anyways, though, now
I will.
Let's move on ahead here. Let's move on to what you got going on over there. Let's get into this.
Over where?
Let's talk about Payday 3. And
yes. Also, thank you, Spike, for the gift sub. Yes, Payday 3.
Yeah, because now we're getting back to video games screwing us.
Yeah, which is amazing about okay, you know what's funny about Payday 3? Like, I know it's still like no, people aren't adopting it. People are still playing the second one, but this was something. It's getting me off into one of my starting rants. So, like, one thing is, and this is just like common, it's just another string in them. So Payday's doing what? They now doing a solo offline mode, a beta for it, right? Like a solo mode. Except you still have to be online to start up the game. Like, it'll probably fix it they'll probably maybe fix it because it's only a beta. But right now, you still have to be connected to the launcher to launch it, and then it also won't save any. Like, it actually won't update anything. Like, it won't save any of your progress. It won't even update it. You have to be attached to the launcher again for that, which is like frig, man. Like, it's the always online stuff is absolutely insane. Like, what was the big one? SimCity 4, I think, was when it got really, really bad. I can remember that incident. But like, single player games being online only is the absolute worst. Like, it is the absolute worst. Just because, like, so many people, like, can you imagine downloading a bunch of games and you're going somewhere that doesn't have internet, and then you're like, okay, let's play these games I downloaded, and you open them and they're like, you have to be connected to the internet. And it's like, what? And actually, James here makes a great example I was going to talk to. James says he wanted to play Tony Hawk's Pro Skater and bought it. Couldn't play it because the servers were down. That's actually something I had with games for Windows Live. Does anyone remember when you had to do games for Windows Live? I think it was BioShock I had. Couldn't play it anymore.
Yes.
Just crazy.
And the thing is, that's the thing that you have to be afraid of when it comes to that. When those servers no longer work online, that game is useless. And the thing that blows my mind is, why would you give somebody a single player mode that requires you to be online? Isn't that what offline game modes are supposed to be for? So you don't have to play online. You don't have to be on the internet.
Right?
What sense does that
That's
make?
what I'm saying, but no.
Exactly.
It doesn't.
James said here, and that's exactly what happens, right? He said, right, now my copy of Pro Skater 5 is a paperweight because he can't play. Because those online servers no longer exist. So you just wasted money on a game that you can't play. And this is why online only is a terrible idea.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's just like, it's fuck, man. Like, the amount of games that, like, I get it for online games, but at the same time, that doesn't always save online games either, because, like, as soon as the company goes down, like, there's so many games that have, like, died within a year, and they just, like, can't play them anymore. Which is amazing that Capcom hasn't done that yet for their what? They're online only ones. No. They're, what is it? Revengeance and Versus or whatever it is. Those two. Don't worry, Kat. I'm not talking about it. Don't worry. Don't worry yourself.
No,
we're not mentioning that.
No, I was talking about don't give them any ideas. Don't give them
yeah, okay. I actually wouldn't mind that though. Like, what the hell? They like what was the point of that? They even, like, when you got I think with Resident Evil 3, they like forced you to have them. Like, I must have both of them, and I like never played either of them. I got them for free.
Yeah,
like, you know it's bad when you get it for free.
Revergence, like, it downloads when you download Resident Evil 3. So it's automatically just there. And I played it one time, and the servers are absolute trash, and I just never played it again. They had something that could have worked, but they didn't put too much effort into it. And so,
you can probably even see the Steam charts for it, which is crazy. Like, I don't even know where it would be because I haven't played that since like Resident Evil Resistance, right? Like,
Resistance.
It's actually crazy. Resident Evil Resistance. Like, it's crazy. It's actually crazy. Let me see. So in the 24-hour peak, the last 30 days, they had an average of 28 players, and their peak players were 60. That's it. Yep. Peak players last month. 60. Like, and they're just fine.
Oh my
right?
God.
Like, is that not absurd? If that's not absurd,
that is absolutely ridiculous.
There we go.
Like, can you imagine an old man playing that, or old woman playing it? Like, let me play this.
That's what I'm saying.
Let me play this old game right here.
Yeah.
What is that game on the screen right there? This.
Yeah, right?
Oh, the poor bastards. They don't know how bad it is. They don't know how
No,
bad it
they like it's bad. It's bad.
is. Yeah.
Yeah. It's man.
I wish
It's crazy. It's crazy.
I wish somebody would tell Capcom that some old man with glasses so damn thick that he can see into the future is the only one playing your video games.
Right? Like frig, I don't know. I don't know what their other one is called. What is their other one called? Reverse. All right.
Yeah, Reverse.
We can look up Reverse.
Reverse is bad, and there's another one too. I forgot what that other one was. It was on my tier.
Peak players last 30 days, 20.
Jeez.
Reverse has had 20 people peak, an average of 8 players. So there's like, and it seems to only be like an average of 7 to 8 players. That's crazy. That's absolutely crazy.
I'm not surprised by that.
Oh my god.
Because I played both of them, and when I tell you they didn't put no effort into those, they didn't put no effort into it at all. And then there's a third one that they had too. I forgot what it was called. Umbrella Corps. There's another one. That's an online only shooter that literally failed. They had to shut it down like 5 months after its release. That's how bad it was. And that's
absolutely insane.
But yeah, I see here a lot of players are sticking to Payday 2 because why the hell do that? Like, why pay for Payday 3?
Right?
They've been begging for an offline mode since the first Payday. You finally give them one, and it's like, okay, well, it's got a few caveats. We want you to still play online so we can still monitor what the hell you're doing and what you're playing. What happened?
Exactly.
What happened to the offline modes that we used to have where you could sit in the same room and you could just play the video game?
They're gone.
Before you had to
They're gone.
Before you had to have the landline parties and all that stuff like that, like you had to do now. It's just the whole point of that is I hate the fact that they're taking away options away from us. And then when they give us what we want, it's always some bullshit crap you got to go through just to be able to play it.
Exactly. Oh yeah, you got to jump through hoops just to play it, of course. It's unnecessary.
An offline mode that requires online.
I know.
And they're probably
and that's just like DRM.
They're probably gonna
go ahead.
They're probably gonna hide behind the fact that oh well, if you want trophy support, it's gonna have to be online all the time.
Right? Yeah, it is. Like, it's going to be stupid stuff like that. Like, at least Steam saves your session. And then, like, when you go back online, like, it automatically updates it for you, right? So at least you have that. But, like, yeah, it's going to be only online. Just stupid.
But yes.
Which is absolutely stupid.
You were saying, I know you were moving on to
the next one. Oh, yeah. No, it just fits in because it's a type of copy protection, right? It's a type of DRM, which, like, this is a heated issue for me because if you've ever played a game that has like Denuvo on it, I forget what it was before, Secure ROM, I think it was, or what was that other one? Whoops, sorry, hit my mic. Star Force, I think it's Star Force was the one copy protect. I think it's called Star Force, and like it's absolutely amazing that pirating games gives you a much better experience half the time than actually pirating the game. Like, I believe that half of the reason why Dead Space is shitty on my computer, aside from it being like already badly optimized, but like I think half of it also has to be with Denuvo. Like, you get Denuvo stutters because a lot of times what happens with like the built-in DRM, digital rights management, is like some of them just do checks at the start of the game, which is what they traditionally did. Like back when you had physical carts, like most of them would just run a check at the very beginning, and then what usually people would do is you'd get like a modded console that went across, right? I'm sure everyone had like an EverDrive. I used to have an EverDrive, which gave me like every single like NES game, like all that kind of stuff. But yeah, with Dead Space, like I am going to do that. I am literally going to pirate the Dead Space remake just to see, which is crazy. Which is crazy. I haven't pirated stuff since I was like a teenager, so that's like crazy. But it's just like half the time you get a better deal. Like you get a better performance. I actually have one example which is crazy. Rockstar is really bad for this. And Rockstar actually, like, I forget how many games. I know they had it in Manhunt. Manhunt, I don't know if they even fixed this. Manhunt is actually unplayable on Steam. Why? Because they, like, Sony had, or not Sony, Rockstar put it in and then they, like, were cheap on the copy protection. I think they even used, like, cracked files. I can't remember. But basically what was happening is for, like, 10 years, you could buy Manhunt on Steam. It wouldn't work because their copy protection forces you to have glitches that eventually make the game unwinnable. So like literally that's one of those points where you can buy a game like and it just won't work. Like it just won't work.
I think I remember reading up on that. So basically because they were too damn cheap to keep up with the copyright stuff, that you basically just get what you get, whatever they put on Steam. Do you think that's what's happened with the Silent Hill Homecoming?
I'm not sure. Well, like Homecoming's just been abandoned. That's the problem with that, and I think that's also the problem with Dead Space. It's a problem with a lot of them. They just get abandoned. Like they never get updated. Which Homecoming, my God, I wish I could play Homecoming on my PC.
Oh, we knew that they abandoned the Dead Space remake when the process that they went through to make it, they didn't even patch it. It is what it is, and
No.
some people say they never had any issues, but then there are people like you, and I watched their playthrough of it. Like there's a lot of stuttering, and you had problems just trying to get the damn thing to work. Like you had to do a whole bunch of jump through hoops, just like we were just talking about, just to get the game to work.
Yeah, and it's chugging on a fucking Ryzen 7. Like that game was so CPU intensive, it was crazy. I don't have a shitty computer, so like that blew my mind when I could play every other like AAA release around that. Like Resident Evil 4 remake. Resident Evil 4 remake ran like butter.
Yeah.
Right, but maybe that's the Frostbite engine. I know the Reach engine is really well optimized.
Yeah, I had no issues with any of these games that I have, even a game like the Division 2. The Division 2, I mean, it takes up a lot of space. Like it takes a lot of power to run that game. I run that game on max settings when I stream. Not a single issue at all. And I'm like, part of me, the question I want to ask, like when it comes to the Dead Space remake, is just, do you think that was just a product of them just abandoning the game? Or do you think that they were just being cheap while developing the game? That's the question that I want to ask, because
probably both. I know the Frostbite engine is kind of janky. I know this Frostbite, like the engine they use on it. I don't know which one. I think they're on Frostbite 2, maybe 3. Like I know it's janky, but yeah, I think it was just like overly ambitious, and I think it was too ambitious, really, with the amount of graphics that it included, and then you add in the fact that they made it like seamless as they usually do, which like, okay, I'll give them that. Technically, Dead Space 1 was seamless. Like there's no loading screens in Dead Space, right? But I feel like they were a little ambitious on that part.
Yeah, that worries me because.
So I don't know.
That worries me because, with the Silent Hill 2 remake coming out and with Metal Gear Solid Delta, Delta Snake Eater coming out, like, I have bad feelings about those games. But it's like,
Yeah.
the fact that, I mean, y'all, it's not like they're broke. It's not like these guys don't have money. Rockstar makes a lot of money. Why be that damn cheap? Make sure all your games work. Make sure you get all the copyright and all of that stuff worked out so that people can play these games well into the future. And sometimes I think they do that.
Which you just, yeah.
Sometimes I think they do that because they're coming out with another game and they want all the excuses in the world to make people buy the next game that comes out. So if the old game is not playable anymore, hey, well, we have this new one, or they just release a different version of it and make you buy the game all over again.
Yep, exactly. They lock you into it, like you're locked into it.
And what ends up happening is people go back, and get the old Dead Space, the Dead Space 1 that you got, because that game has no issues ever. Like, I've never had no problems playing that or 2, and even a crappy ass 3.
Me neither. Yep, me neither, but I am going to do that. I am legitimately going to pirate it just to see if it runs better, and if it does, like, I'm going to be so mad.
Yeah.
I'm going to be so mad. I am going to do that just to get rid of the de novo. And, like, usually it's good practice that they remove it after a year, but I don't think they did. Usually they get rid of copy protection after a certain amount of time, but I don't think they did. I think it's probably still going to say on the store page that they have it.
Yeah, I think they just
it's
I think once they got done with that game, they just put it out and just said the hell with it. We got it out there.
Yep, they definitely did. They did. Incorporate, yep, they still have de novo on it. It always says, always check that. Always check that on the Steam page. Like, I think it's right under, it's right under the controller support. It'll tell you if it has DRM. Right? Like, I don't like it. I don't like it. And, like, some of it just completely destroys your computer now. I think it's Star Force. I think it's called Star Force. Basically, it's a DRM which, like, I think it's on Windows Vista or older. Basically, it installed its own driver to your system, which now is incompatible with, I think it was incompatible with the drivers. Like, it installed its own driver, and then it would completely, like, mess up your computer. Yeah, if you want to take a peek, it's just... And so now if you play certain games with Star Force DRM protection on it, like, it can fuck up your entire computer. Entire computer.
You said Star Force?
It's right. Yeah.
For Windows Vista?
Yeah, Star Force, and so you can't, it'll, like, wreck. I think it did drivers. I think it installed its own driver that Windows get, like, newer levels of Windows, they get pissed about it when you try to reboot. Ezio say Hitman Trilogy started. I remember that. I actually remember that. I remember Hitman being one of the, wasn't that, like, one of, like, the, like, ground zero for this guy? I remember that being a huge thing.
Yeah, I'm seeing here, because you're talking about Star Force, like, you got people in the Microsoft community asking how to get that crap off of their computer, the protection driver.
Yeah, because it breaks your computer. It can break your computer. It'll just fuck up the drivers, and you better hope that Windows has a last known good configuration. Or that you didn't have that much between rolling, like, you know what I mean? It's just like, it breaking your computer is, like, disgusting.
Yeah, and it's bad enough that every time we download games now, they all come with their own launcher. So who knows what the hell they're putting on?
Yeah.
How many times have you downloaded something on your computer and then you find out that you got all these other pre-installed programs that they put on there that you didn't even know was on it? Like, I
absolutely hate it. I hate that.
Because I got code, like, I got VS Code here and stuff, because I do that, on the side. So it's like, I'll find stuff like Python, which I didn't download. I didn't download Python. Why is it on my computer? or you get like
right?
some off name browser that you never heard of before. You know,
Right?
and they,
Exactly.
you know, and games. I mean, would it be any surprising that games do this stuff too? Like, I mean, of
Yep.
course. And then you wonder why.
Hell, even Windows does it now.
Yeah,
Well, I mean, Windows always did it, but I mean, like, Windows is full on giving you ads at this point.
yeah. You know, it was crazy. Like,
Unreal.
they're still talking about that stuff, like putting ads in their video games.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
Which
know,
is
it's insane.
crazy. Like, how desperate are you?
Like, if they're doing that crap, if you're playing a game, you know, and then all of a sudden a 2-second ad comes out, I'm getting out a sledgehammer, and I'm a bashing that console.
Get. I'm. I'm gonna book a flight. I'm gonna go to the hardware store and get a hammer.
It's just,
Oh man.
it's insane to me. And it's like, remember what the Xbox One was gonna be before they came out with it? Remember that? Like they wanted it to be
But
a universal like console. Like they wanted it to be online all the time.
oh yeah,
They wanted to put ads in
yeah.
all of
Wanted
their
to be like
games. And
I
they
remember that, like an Android box. Yes.
and they wanted it to be like you can only have like 2 registered users on the console, which means you're on there, which means you can't, if
That
somebody like in your family wants to play the same console, they can't do it.
that actually reminds me of the other kind of copy protection, where you have limited installs. Does anyone else remember limited installs? I had Spore, which was its own mess. 3 installs. That's all you got. You could only use the key 3 times, and then it was useless. There were so many games like that where it was like, oh, okay, well, like, oh, new computer, well, fuck you. Like, you reach your install limit, so here you go.
Are they doing that now?
It's insane. They used to. They used to. They don't do that. I don't think they do that anymore, except maybe like enterprise software. I don't know, but that was a thing. That was a thing way back when I was growing up. So it would have been like 90s, 2000s, mid 2000s. Yeah, you could only get a certain amount of installs. You could only install it X amount of times, and then the key was useless.
Yeah,
Useless.
see, I didn't know that because at that time I was still firmly entrenched in the console stuff. So I didn't really have a PC
Yeah.
to game like that. Like I did play emulated games, you know, like Dragon Ball and all that stuff, but I didn't know that that was going on then. You know, like can you
Yeah.
imagine how pissed off people would be if they only allowed you to install a video game a certain amount of times and then you can't do it anymore?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Physical over digital. Yeah, Ezio was saying physical over digital, but like that was the problem. Your physical disc was like you couldn't even use the physical disc anymore. With the kind I'm talking about, where you only got X amount of installs. Sorry.
Yeah. Like the disc would be
Bunny,
useless.
the Bunny King was here.
Hey, the
Yeah.
Bunny King over there. Shout out to Odie over there
Yeah,
hopping
he-
around.
Yeah, he was trying to hop up on my lap anyway. But yeah, like you don't own anything with digital, but like they're damn trying to make sure you don't even own your physical copy.
But see, here's the thing that, you know, tacking on to what Ezio said, I hope I said that right. You know, yes, physical over digital any day, but they're making it very difficult for you to do that because if you looking at, like I was talking to Kelsey about buying Silent Hill 3 physical because I have a disk drive, you know, external disk drive. Do you know how much they're charging for that on eBay? Do you know how,
A
like,
shit ton.
it's ridiculous. Like I saw a copy of Silent Hill 3 that's like $19,000 US.
Yep.
Just because it's some kind of special edition. And they're selling the
The big box.
They're selling the box with the manual for $50 US. They're selling the box. No game in it.
Yeah. Yeah, because limited print, right? And then I think Silent Hill 4 had that issue too, where only it had a limited run. Like a lot of them had limited runs, right? And it's like, okay, well, like, can you Like, can you port these to like it would be easy. They all have PC versions. I actually don't know about one. But they all do. I mean, GOG has Silent Hill 4 on it. Like, but nope, fuck you. It's gone
Yeah,
forever.
Midnight over
It's
here.
gone forever.
Midnight over here. He said you would buy a CD disc, and it would have a piece of paper in it with the code on it, and it literally gave you only a few times that
Yep.
you could actually use it.
Yep, and Nostalgia said the same thing. Used to have to register the CD key online, even when you had the disc. Oh yeah, it was awful. It was awful. Yep, and if you didn't have it, like that was the end of it. Like, sorry, go buy a new one.
I don't know what the hell, how they thought that was a good idea. I don't know how they thought that was a good idea at all. Don't do that again. Don't do that ever
I think it's
again.
just, honestly, I think I was actually speaking to you about this last week, how I just think it's a song and dance at this point, for investors to feel good about their product, because most games get cracked in like a week, if that. Like, it does not take long to get rid of copy protection.
That's true, but it's like, you're going to start seeing a lot of these companies like Nintendo going to these websites and having them shut down, so that you can no longer
Right?
you can no longer emulate things anymore.
Nope. Exactly.
So
Exactly.
So when I'm saying that they're making it so you have to buy their product, that's what's happening. Like, they're eliminating every other option, and don't be surprised when a site like CD Keys gets shut down, because Sony and Microsoft and
I'm listening.
Nintendo and them get pissed off, and they find out that they're selling their games, for dirt cheap. Don't be surprised when websites like that start getting shut down, and then you got to start buying full price stuff. I'm telling you, man.
Right?
It's gonna get to that point. Low Girl says, she said, yep, for Tony Hawk Underground 2, it said for Tony Hawk Underground 2 had to have 2 codes when I emulated it, and some goat posted the code. Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, I love it when people still post the codes, but that's crazy. 2 of them is disgusting.
Wow.
2 of them are disgusting. Or like back in the day, old school copy protection was hilarious. Would be like, you'd load up the game. It's like, open the manual and go to page 3. Go to paragraph 2 of, page 3 of the manual, and tell me what the third word was. You didn't have that manual, good fucking luck, bud, because this was way before the internet.
So you're
like, not really, because I had internet.
You're talking about the Commodore 64 days, where you had to have like the little little code card and stuff.
Yep. One of them, I remember, had like a code wheel, and it would give you like 3 words, and you had to like match it up. Yeah, like way back in the day. What were they called? Feelies, I think.
I remember
they were type Feelies, I think it was called, like the actual physical. Yep.
And if you didn't have that,
which is insane.
If you didn't have that book, you couldn't play it.
No, which was crazy, because like CD burning was all the rage when I was growing up. Like we used to love burning CDs of games with other people. Like, I honestly, burned a CD. Yeah, Logger said yes. I burned you a CD. Yes.
Yeah, that was.
Yes. Oh yeah. Nostalgia's correct. Metal Gear Solid had it too, didn't it?
Yeah, I remember that. Emulating Nostalgia talking about, that's how you found out what Meryl's Kodak code was. You had to have the case to look on the back of the case, but at least in the Kodak they told you that. In the game, the actual game itself, it told you. He's like, isn't Meryl's code?
Well, what if you rented it?
Then you're shit out of luck. You just got a Blockbuster case with nothing in it.
Yeah, exactly. It was crazy.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
The good old days where we're burning CDs. That was how we asked for dates back then. burned you. I burned you
Yep.
the newest album here from your favorite artist.
That's so funny. That's so funny.
Well,
Yeah. I used to do that with games all the time.
surprisingly, it worked too. But
It did work. It did work. It's
you
true.
know,
It did work.
the good old days
Yeah.
of dial up. Remember that?
Yep.
Somebody pick up
Oh yeah.
somebody pick up the phone,
Phone here, it's over.
you get kicked off the internet.
Right. I can recently remember I was looking through like my room. And I remember I forget what the type of RAM it is. I can't remember right now, but it's 10 megabytes. Was it DIMM? I
Yeah,
can't remember the type of it.
that's what it sounds. It sounds
And
like
yeah,
them.
it's like 10 megabit. And it was like 10 megabytes. And I was like, wow, this used to be like the peak of gaming. Now we're in the digital age, and
You would
like 16 gigabytes is the minimum.
you would think it would be better now, but like I said, some of these games are like freaking 200 damn gigabytes and up. Like
Yep.
even these
Just
episodes here,
disgusting.
the episodes of our show, like a DVD, because that's why my dad got me the CD burner here. A DVD is like 4.6 gigs. I had a CD, like a regular CD. Do you know I couldn't even put one episode of our show on there?
Oh, I believe that. I believe that. When I try to do a record a full run of Silent Hill 3, it's like 60 gigabytes.
Damn. At least with the DVD,
Yeah.
it's 4.6. At least. So I was able to put
crazy.
the first 7 episodes on there, and I still got space. So
Oh, that's good. That's good. Yeah, I guess it all depends, right? What you're installing.
definitely. That's just insane. But yes,
It is.
let's go on and move on to, because I know you was talking about the data collected from public stream users.
Oh yeah. This one blows my mind. And this is only what is publicly available, and only in certain countries that allow this data to be collected. But they sat down, I forget actually who it was, I could probably link to that, but they sat down and calculated it based on like public Steam profiles. So for unplayed games, at least in countries and among public profiles on Steam, $19 billion of unplayed games. $19 billion of unplayed games just sitting there. Which, you know what? I could probably you know what? I'm not even going to try and calculate. I'll calculate it in my mind. I can calculate it in my mind. Let me see. Just right off the bat, I'm probably sitting on like $500 of unplayed games actually right now. So like that's so real, which is crazy, right? Like
That's
and
insane.
then
That just means that a lot of people are just buying games they're not playing.
I think a lot of it's the sales. I think hoarding from sales is a huge one. Like Steam sales are horrible because like they'll be like, okay, here's like 5 games for, you know, like however much, and you're like, oh, that's a steal, and then you like never open the games, like never open them, like and which is like, I guess the sale psychology is doing its work,
Like,
you know,
like
but
like someone who has Alone in the Dark who hasn't even opened it yet.
It was a gift. Doesn't count. But I'll get to those games. It's just like, that's the other thing, all right? And everyone can scoff at me, like literally every single person, like every time I bitch about this on stream, it always makes me laugh, because it's like, it's not like I don't play video games for 5 days a week for 3 to 4 hours a day, but like, okay, whatever. I always feel like an idiot. I always say that. I'm like, oh, I don't have enough time for these games. But it's just like, I don't have time for like RPGs and JRPGs and stuff like Elden Ring and like Souls games. I can't. I literally cannot. I would be gone forever. Like, I would be gone forever. You guys would never see me again.
You see what
Like,
you
never.
see what James said up there? I have like 600 games in my Steam library, and I've maybe played 5% of them.
Yep.
Jeez, man. Holy crap.
Yep. That's how it happens.
And like you said, it makes it that much easier because Steam has a sale like, damn, they have a sale like damn near every day, especially if it's Capcom stuff. Like Capcom games are always on sale. The Mega Man games, Resident Evil, Monster Hunter, like they're always going on sale. And like you said, you see these things and it's like, yo, let me pick that up. Let me pick that up. And it'd be like 2 years before you even play the game.
Yep.
Or it's
Ezio made a good comment here, though. Elden Ring is like 200 hours for a single playthrough plus the DLC. And then if I added on, if I were to stream that, that would be like 400 hours. Like, I don't think I have, like, outside of streaming, like, I don't, like, that's a commitment.
That's true.
You know?
I mean, it's like I'm right there with you. You know how much I work. You know how much crap I got to do in real life. Like the only time I sit down to play video games is when I'm off streaming. You know, when I'm streaming.
Yeah.
You know, when I was younger and I was a teenager, like I would be up for, 10, 12 hours playing games. But, I'm almost 40. I have to work. I'm doing the schooling thing. And, I pick games. You never notice the games that I play are games that I can actually just beat and just be done with it.
Yeah. Exactly.
I don't have the patience to sit through a Final Fantasy game. Like, I didn't have the patience.
I can't.
I didn't have the patience back then when I first got Final Fantasy 8. That thing is 4 discs. It took me forever to beat that game. And I had no job then. I was just a young teenager.
Oh, I know. Oh, I know.
But the thought of doing that stuff now, just like, there's a reason why I still play the Division, but I took a break from it because it was starting to get like 23 videos into that junk. And I'm like, how long is this game?
Yeah, exactly. It'll go on for a long time, right? Like a long time. And it's just like, and the nature of those games too is like, they're addictive. That's the other part, is they get very addictive because, like, at the very least, I can say to myself, like, okay, I've been streaming for 3 hours. I'm hungry. I'm going to put this down, and I'm not going to play this again till, like 5 o'clock the next day, right? But, like JRPGs and just, like, games like Elden Ring, like, I'd be so addicted. It'd be crazy. Like, I would probably wake up at like 5 in the morning just to play it on lunch, play it before stream, play it on stream, play it after stream. Like, that's how I would be playing those games.
I ain't getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning for nothing unless I got to go to work. Like, I've
actually been trying to do that. Sorry, go ahead.
I'm not doing that, man. Like, I'm old. I can't do that stuff now. Once I go to sleep, I'm just out like a light.
Yeah, I do best in early morning. That's how I got my PB, Silent Hill 3, which is funny, and I've actually been considering that. I've been considering to myself, like, maybe I should wake up at 5 a.m. But then there's the problem. See, and this is the reason why I don't pick up these games. Because if I am sitting here thinking, what if I can play better at 5 a.m. for a damn speed run of a game? Like, what the, like, come on.
It's definitely the definition of a gotcha game. Like, I see why.
Yeah, oh, man.
I see why you don't play games like Dead by Daylight or Fortnite, because they really are addicting.
No.
Like, you'd be like, oh, this is my last game, and then I'm going to bed. Next thing you know, it's 5 hours later.
Yep. Oh, I've been in enough casinos now to know that I need to stay away from those kind of games. Yeah. I know damn well.
Yeah, it's easy to get sucked in, and it's like I have maybe, like, I'm probably like the exception to the case. Like, I just the exception to the rule. I meant to say, I just bought those 5 Tomb Raider games, but here's the difference between, you know, me and a lot of other people. I actually beat every single one of those games, so
Yeah.
I can go back and play it. I think a lot of the people that you're talking about are people that buy games that they haven't even played before, haven't even played yet. They're just sitting there. It's different when you bought a game and you already beat it, and it's like, oh, you know, I remember Tomb Raider Legends. Let me pick that up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that.
And it's like paying, like, that's a lot of money right there. I mean, $19 billion. Do you know what that could do for you? You know what that could do for a country? Like, seriously.
That's yeah. That's the entire economy of some countries.
Damn.
Like,
and it's like people always talking that crap. Oh man, I'm barely making this meat, but you can make your Steam library grow.
Right? That's what I'm saying. It's crazy.
I'm like, you can't eat those games.
Nope. You can try.
They haven't
You can try.
They haven't physically made edible games yet.
Not yet. Not yet. You know it's the end of the world when they do though. Like, it's over.
Yeah,
it's all over when they do.
Yeah, I made this grilled cheese sandwich with 2 copies of Silent Hill. It was hidden, man.
Are you kidding me? You'd have to go to like a top Michelin restaurant like to get Silent Hill. Like, are you kidding me? Only the 1% can afford Silent Hill sandwiches.
Yeah, most likely.
So funny.
Most likely I'll never play Silent Hill 3 again, because I'm not spending that kind of money for that. It ain't happening.
You can just get the PC version.
That's what I'm trying to do, but it's almost impossible to get that.
I can show you.
I mean, because I tried to download it, the way that you did. It doesn't work for me for some reason.
I wonder if you might need the widescreen patch on it, because that fixed a lot for me. I can link you to that too.
Yeah, definitely do that for me, because.
Or yeah, Damon Tools. That's true.
Because I would love to go back and play Heather, Cheryl, Alessa, whatever you want to call her.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
$19 billion. Man.
Yeah.
And you know what I could do with that
it's
kind of money?
Crazy, isn't it?
I could retire both.
Right?
I could retire both of my parents. I can retire my brother, and Kelsey would never have to work again. My daughter wouldn't have to work again.
No.
And I would buy a 24 karat gold sledgehammer and just spend the rest of my life smashing Resident Evil 5 copies. Yeah.
Oh my god. I would buy a 1-to-1 replica of the Ishimura.
You would, wouldn't you? You would. You'd probably buy.
I would live in the Ishimura. I'd buy a 1-to-1.
You'd probably go out there and freaking buy a thing of land just to build a house that looks like the Ishimura.
Oh, I would. And then I'd hire people I'd hire people to play, all the characters, and and I'd get my own level 3 rig, and I'd just,
I'd probably,
it'd be good.
I'd probably just build like the old mansion in Resident Evil 1. Just build that with all them damn rooms and stuff.
Yeah.
And I would troll the hell out of people. I'd be like, hey, you need to go to the bathroom? Yeah, but you need to go to these rooms and find these keys so that you can unlock the door to go to the bathroom.
Right.
Yeah.
Resident Evil. Right, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Right.
Anyways, though, let's move on here, because we gotta talk about the UK retailers.
Oh yes, sir. Last point here. This was a rumor, obviously. Which, if you're in the UK, you may have seen the rumors the game was going to stop. You guys may have seen that rumor the game was going to stop selling physical copies, and then game was like, no, that's not true. But here's the thing. That's going to happen. Guaranteed in the next 5-10 years, we're not going to have physical copies. Because game stores are just Funko Pop retailers. Nostalgia said too, I wouldn't be surprised. And that was why I was keeping my eye open on that news story, and I was like, okay, they debunked it, but like it seems so plausible, doesn't it? There's so many game things. Like there's so many game stores that have closed, have died, like, well, not died, they closed, died. You know what I mean? Sorry. Brain fog, have to eat dinner after this, but yeah, like you ever go to a game store anymore? When was the last time you went to a game store? You have like one small shelf of games and then merch.
We only got
Toys don't have anything to do with games.
We only have one left. I mean, we only have GameStop, which is next door to me. I don't even remember the only time I actually go to that store, because you can't buy PC stuff in there anyways. Because I collect the
And can't buy PC games. PC games are really hard to buy physical, actually.
Yeah, they don't sell PC stuff
crazy.
in there. But the only time I go to GameStop is to see if I can find an anime, because I collect the anime statues and stuff. The giant figures and stuff.
Yeah, but you see what I mean? Like, the fact that you're going there for, like, merch and everything else surrounding, like, that kind of culture, except, like, the actual games, what it was originally built for, like,
yeah, they're selling clothes.
Don't even go there anymore.
They're selling clothes in there. They're selling, board games and stuff. They even selling I remember seeing a Dragon Ball soup bowl with chopsticks. They're selling crap like that, and I'm like, this is
so much random stuff.
I'm like, is this a game store? Is this Hot Topic? Like, what is it?
Right? That's what Hot Topic, and I was actually thinking that. I'm like, that's what Hot Topic turned into. Hot Topic turned into that as well, which is crazy.
You go and you buy clothes. It's like, hey, you buy these clothes, you get a free Sailor Moon action figure. Yeah.
Exactly.
But you know what? You got a point there, because I was thinking about that for a while. It's not going to be that long from now where all these physical game stores are going to be gone, because companies are greedy like that. They're going to put these stores out of business. Like, you don't see no mom and pop shops anymore. When I first moved to Florida, like, we had them all over the place. There was a store downtown Orlando. That's where I got all my Japanese imports from. I used to go there and I got, Dragon Ball Z and Cowboy Bebop and stuff like that. That store doesn't exist anymore. None of the other stores that we used to have here exist. The only thing that exists, and I don't even know how they're still around, is GameStop. That's it.
Yeah. That we used to have the Canadian version of GameStop EB Games. It's gone. They just switched over to GameStop. It was owned by GameStop, but they switched over.
We had EB Games here too.
Gone.
And it's like...
You did, yeah, and it's gone.
It's going to be all digital, so I would not be surprised. And then they're really going to screw us, because, again, when everything that's online, they can sell stuff for full price for as long as they damn well please. You're not going to...
It's actually like... it's just actually incredible. I don't even remember what I was going to say. Oh my gosh, just continue, sorry.
Yeah, you're not
I'll remember what I was going to say.
You're not going to have the option to go buy used games anymore, folks. So I would suggest that y'all get ready for that. They're not going to be any more used options, because you're going to seek out physical copies online, and they're going to be selling that stuff for ridiculous prices.
Yeah.
And don't be surprised.
Exactly.
Don't be surprised again when they fade out physical game consoles, when everything moves to digital, because they're already doing it now. They got the PS5 that's digital. They got the Xbox Series S, which is digital. And you got PC that's digital. Do not be surprised when the PS6 comes out and the PS7 and all that stuff. It's going to be no more physical game. It's
going to be all digital. Yep. It's like going around with the PC thing. Like, half the time now, games, like, half the times, like, a physical copy is, like, in deluxe editions. Like, it's now, like, a bonus to buy a game. Like, it's considered a special thing to buy a physical copy of a game. Most of them don't even have a physical copy until it, like, comes out, like, whoops, sorry, hit my my mic in anger, apparently. No, but it's like, yeah, they like, you want a physical copy of this? Oh, okay, well, like, you can get it now in a collector's edition for, like, $250, or you can wait like a year and we'll do a physical copy.
They're only gonna, I guarantee they're only gonna release it in like a certain quantity. Like they're only gonna put out a certain amount of copies, and then you will not be able to get your hands on it again. Period.
Nope.
So
Nope.
you guys,
No, you won't.
So you guys better get used to that. You better get used to it because it's only gonna get worse from here. Yeah, I think that honestly, I think this is the last era that we're gonna have physical game copies for games. I think that the PS6 will probably be digital. People are gonna be pissed about it, but they'll get used to it.
It's not even profitable. It's just not even profitable these days.
It's gonna be bad. And then the option of not being able to sell the used games that you have anymore because you're not gonna have any more used games to sell. Everything's digital.
Nope. Yep, they all get scooped up and sold for scalping prices. And we talked about this in, I don't remember which episode we talked about it in, but we were talking about how the retro game industry is a scam. It's an entire scheme.
Yeah, like
it's incredible.
Remember what PT, when they shut down PT and people were taking the demo on the what was it, the PS3, was it? The PS3?
On the PS3.
And they were selling,
I think I still have the demo.
Yeah, they were taking the console that had it and selling it for ridiculously high prices.
Because it's tied to your account. I'm pretty sure I still have it. Maybe. But yeah, I forget how it's absolutely insane. I know a lot of things do that where people will just like sell you I know people will do that. They'll just sell the accounts, like online accounts for games you can't get anymore. But I guess I don't know. I haven't used a PlayStation in like ages, so I don't know. But yeah, it's like that.
Yeah,
it's just amazing.
What they're probably gonna end up doing is like when everything does go all digital, they'll probably give you a certain amount of time that you can have the game before you can get a refund for it.
Exactly.
They'll probably have like, well, you got like a 6-month guarantee, that if you play the game and you don't want it anymore, you can give it back. So, not just games and I'm not going to keep it going that long, but not just the gaming stores that have to worry about going out of business, but pawn shops as well too. Yep.
Oh yeah. And it's actually crazy. Like even the prices in like secondhand stores, like certain games I have seen at game stores. I remember I wanted to get a copy of Pokemon Heart Gold, and like those games are so expensive. Like getting them secondhand now, sometimes you're paying more than what they retailed for, which is crazy.
And
just crazy.
And Nintendo will keep selling them for full price because again, I'm on Steam. I check Nintendo every now and again. I check that Sony has sales, Microsoft has sales, but Nintendo never has sales. Hold on a second. Sorry. Do you hear that stupid motorcycle over there?
I briefly heard it. He's gone.
Okay, good. Yeah, because that guy always like 3-4 times a day he rev up that like he
This is a nice neighborhood.
Yeah. It's like one day I'm gonna just troll the crap out of him. Like the next time he does that, I'm just gonna open my door and blast bad to the bone, just so he can feel good about himself.
Oh my god, that'd be so funny. But yes, that'd be so funny.
Another excellent episode. I had a lot of fun.
It was.
This
was great.
Yes, we tried a different formula for you guys. I hope you liked the format because I definitely enjoyed it.
Me too. I think it worked well.
Yes.
It's good discussions here, folks.
Definitely. I actually took the time to talk. You know what I mean? And I love it.
Yep. Yeah, see? Gotta get you doing that more.
Yes, and we on my stream here, just to let y'all know, like I don't know if y'all noticed, I got the chat pop up there, so when you guys talk, I could just zoom in on your message. It pops up, bam. Hi, I'm special for 5 seconds. I'm just playing.
Yeah.
I love you guys. Thank you to everybody that showed up for the stream today.
I will see you guys.
We will be back in 2 weeks for episode 9.
Yes, we will.
of the Hot Takes podcast. If you guys want to find us,
Appreciate you guys.
you'll find us on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Samsung Podcast, Pandora, Podchaser, Spreaker, Amazon Music, YouTube, and Twitch. I will have this uploaded to my YouTube channel when I jump off, and then I'll get on the audio only a little later. But thank you to everybody.
Perfect.
Kelsey,
thank you. Are you going to stream after, Ken?
I'm too tired. Like, honestly,
yeah. I might.
I was thinking about doing a 2-hour stream, but I'm just
get your rest.
I'm exhausted. I think I'm gonna call it.
I'm the same day. Yeah, me too. I might have dinner and do no save, no death runs or whatever. But get your rest.
Definitely.
Ken, we appreciate you being here, but sir, you got to get your rest.
I wouldn't miss this. I would not miss this for the world. I mean, this is the highlight of my months, is doing this podcast and entertaining you guys. And learning.
Well, yeah, you can't leave us in a cold, cruel, Kenless world, you know? Paraphrase Carlo is like, you can't leave us out, but we appreciate you.
Definitely. Thank you to everybody that showed up. You guys have a great day. Kelsey, it's always a pleasure.
Thank you, Ken. I will see you guys later.
Later. Take care.